Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode number 138 of the Terminus podcast for the weeks of March 38th, 2020. It's 3 and 28, for those of you that remember those times when sports were still a thing. I am your dispatcher, Ellis, otherwise known as the Admiral. With me I have my engineers, Brett Weebold and Jacob Durbin, and our fireman, TJ Sakoshiko.
Hello.
And our brakeman, of course, because it's his time to be on, Eric.
It's always my time, only when it isn't.
It's that time of the month.
Yeah.
You say that we're the engineers. The engineers union is on strike. We don't want to run trains right now because of all this COVID stuff.
Yeah, well, we'll get to all the COVID stuff later. And first, the train will terminate at this station.
Oh no!
Here's looking at you, kid.
Here's looking at you, kid.
Anyway, we're watching Kavan and pals play Uno for some reason.
Oh no!
And we have 4 or 5
That's
accidents
social distancing.
from the Class 1 Mantle of Responsibility. The first being BNSF on March 1st. Which was a real messy derailment on Tatchfeed Loop by the looks of it.
Oof.
But nothing really exciting. Then we had another one 4 days later, that's Canadian National. If this one will load. Freight train derails near Prince George... I give up. There was an evacuation. An elementary school had to be evacuated after a major train derailment. 20 cars off the track, variety of products. Nothing crazy, like no explosions or anything, but there are some tank cars in there, so probably warranted evacuation.
A heavy loss of toilet paper.
Yeah. Oh, we'll get to that. CSX derailed a military train 2 days later at the Alabama-Florida state line. That's a heck of a derailment there. Probably expensive, considering that it's all military equipment, so it's about 1,000 times the cost of the parts. KCS derailed that same day. Which, damn. KCS, you've fallen off the wagon, I guess. Milepost 181 south of Neosho. Numerous cars scattered along Kansas City's southern track. Not a hazmat situation. Looks like just boxcars and stuff like that. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. No crazy derailments this week. Even the last one, this is another CSX derailment on the 12th. The craziest thing about this is how massacred the rails are.
Yeah?
Oh.
I'm not even completely sure what happened here, because the train is on the left track, and then all of the derailment and wreckage is on the right track. So, I guess they were crossing over?
Maybe? Yeah.
I really don't know. That is a... And the rails just look like spaghetti. So...
Mom's spaghetti.
Anyway, the notable absences are Norfolk Southern, Union Pacific, and of course Canadian Pacific, who remains the holder of the mantle. Not KCS.
Ta-da.
This is the longest period of time in which any railroad has maintained the mantle other than KCS, I think.
That being what, 2 podcasts?
Yeah.
So about 6 weeks.
Yeah, well in this case...
4 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've been away a while.
Anyway...
Day 23! Give it up for day 23, everybody!
Yeah, so we're all in quarantine, of course. We're doing our best social distancing practices. Now, we're all
crazy.
losers, so we stayed anyway, but... well,
Just like
except for
simulations.
TJ, I guess. TJ's going out and doing things in the world these days. Well, he was.
I was.
Yeah. So what have you been doing instead?
Other than going out in the, besides going out in the world, well, I mean,
you
I
can't
still
do that
do.
anymore.
I still do because I'm an essential worker, apparently. But
3.
Wait, what? What?
apparently, working on a blueberry farm is essential.
Okay. I mean, I guess we gotta eat our blueberries.
Yeah, I mean, hey,
That's not important.
I work with like either by myself or up to 3 people, and I don't go anywhere near them because they're across the field from me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, hope you keep
So-
your 6 feet distance.
Yeah, so I'm fine.
More like 60 feet in that case.
You know, when you come back
TJ
to
is
the...
essential because he works on a farm, just like we're essential because the museum is technically an educational institute.
Are you guys really essential?
No, but we are
Okay.
technically incorporated in, and we are allowed to keep working.
Okay, great, have fun. So, you've been working?
Yeah. You know, progress continues. The 20 is still laughing at us and fighting us every step of the way, but that's to be...
That sounds like 20 for you.
I saw the pictures. I think Jeff posted them of you guys test filling the tank. Testing
Oh,
for-
yeah, we shoved it up to the water tower again, because the first time we did it, we put water in the tank and it leaked everywhere. And then we let it rust for a while, and now the rust has filled a lot of the holes,
Hey!
so it doesn't leak near as bad anymore.
Oh, great. Glad, glad
I
that
guess that's
problem
one way to
solved
fix it.
itself.
Hey, man.
Well,
It's the 20.
The puzzle done puzzled itself.
The puzzle done puzzles itself, yes. Such that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what else have we been doing?
Nobody else?
I haven't gone to the PN. I made like a couple of
Yeah.
Torrent streams.
I downloaded Trains 19 on my laptop, so that's cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
I collected
My,
the final.
Yeah, my desktop needs a new something, so I can't work on my old roots anymore for a little while.
I knew something.
Yeah, I think it's power supply issues, but,
Oof.
we'll find out someday.
We'll just wait to hear a giant bang from TJ's computer.
Well, I'm on my laptop.
Exactly.
So we'll hear it in the background.
Yeah, just. Oh.
Oh, that's what it was.
That's
Oh,
what
he's
it
dead.
was.
I had
I'm
a
just
work conference call where we just dragged the whole traffic group in because my, boss's boss is, I don't know, he just wanted to get everyone together online. And he made it seem like we'd be videoing too, so I even put on a shirt for it. But we didn't have to do that, but, I forgot where the story was going, but the important thing is that we all got dragged into a stupid call. And we had to talk about, how is our life going in quarantine, etc.
Is that important to the function of the engineering office?
Nope.
Okay.
Nothing else. Nope.
It was not. I could have done without it. We're, going around
Darn.
sharing our stories of,
You got to explain your loop, though.
How does that make you feel?
yeah.
Like,
I was
shit.
like, well, I haven't killed anyone yet, so things have been alright so far.
Operative term is yet.
Yeah. I cannot remember why I was saying to that. There was something funny in there that I wanted to mention. Oh well, that's not important.
Clearly.
I collected
What
the
is
final
important,
Infinity
though?
Stone.
Yeah?
Yeah, I now have all 4 colors of Rio Grande Lanterns with the etched original globes.
Oh wow, that's actually
Nice.
pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I was happy. The green one is by far and above the hardest. I've only ever seen 3 for sale, and the 3rd one was the one I bought.
Nice.
How much?
I need to.
I think I wound up paying $275 for it, which is the most I've ever spent for a lantern. But it makes Dusty the big loser because he paid about $450 for his
Ooh.
green one.
$450.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both of the ones I've seen go before have been in the 400s range, and this one was $275. It's like, yes, please.
I'll take it.
Wow. I paid.
I'll take your entire stock.
All right, so. What? Okay, so when, 2 weeks ago now, I was home for spring break, and I wandered into an antique store, And $95 later, I walked out. I'll post a picture of it here. But I walked out with a. What's the date on this? 1906. Yeah, a 1906 lantern with a Southern Railway clear globe.
Nice.
Yeah, the guy said that was the the nicest one he had. So I'm like, all right, early happy birthday to me, I guess.
Yeah.
I didn't want to spend that kind of money, but you know what?
Lanterns are good for you.
Speaking of which,
Yeah,
let's all
I've
wish
been looking for a
Jader-
clear globe lantern for a while.
Speaking of which, today is Jader's birthday, so
Hey.
we're all going to sing for him.
Hey.
Just kidding. We aren't.
No.
It's your birthday,
No.
here's your song. Now your song is over.
And Jader is 21, so he's drunk.
I'm just a little no.
Is that how that works?
No,
Just a little.
it's mandatory. He's 21 now. He's we're doing the
He's
podcast.
drunk,
I mean,
always.
he's honestly he'll find out that this is how the podcast is tolerable. Not just if you're on it, but if you're listening to it too. Ideally, you pass out.
I'm gonna sleep
Jim
good
Beam.
tonight.
He's a friend of mine.
Anyway, there.
Sorry. I remembered to mute my mic right as it opened. It went,
Your effing
All right.
first fridge.
sorry.
Oh my
Where did I
god.
get this? Here it is. And,
Yeah, no, I
here's
haven't
the-
had too much train-related stuff to do. I mean,
That's the worst part about this COVID.
Yeah.
I mean, you're in a tough spot because you don't have your regular computer. But
Well, I mean, because my laptop does just as well.
yeah, I mean, I've received a new module. I just haven't gotten around to reviewing it and installing it. I'm looking forward to it though.
graphics card just made a noise.
I
Let's
just
not
haven't
do
gotten
that.
on. I haven't really even gotten on my computer much because I've not been alone in the house, and so we're just all hanging out together. And I don't want to be like a recluse necessarily. I was like, I'm gonna do the podcast, but
This is the one
just-
chance the
I'm just
world gets
accepted
for you
that.
to save it by sitting on your ass and playing video games, and you are wanting to be social?
I'm not
You
wanting to be. I'm
fool!
stuck in a house with these people.
Fair
Also,
point.
that's a
Government.
very nice lamp.
Let me see
Government.
the lamp.
Stay at home.
Government.
Moderators, gamers. Just like the simulations.
Yeah.
The prophecy has been fulfilled.
Come inside and play video games, me. Wait.
What do you mean, come inside?
Yeah. There's an
Oh
option.
my! Oh my!
Did the yeah, Ellis, show the picture of the lantern to the audience.
I did.
Do it.
It's good.
Okay.
I want to get my lemons.
So there's that. And that was before, well, right before, like right when they were still trying to figure things out. Like that was in between when they announced we're gonna, just have people stay away from campus for the next couple of weeks, and we're doing online classes for the rest of the semester. So, yeah, that was
stuff.
before the quarantine. But I've basically just kind of like I've gotten into the mindset like, well, I'm home. I have not infinite money saved up, but I have enough where I can buy some stuff for the layout and just work.
Yeah.
So, let's see here. So in the past week, let's see. Okay. Yeah, so in the past week, I've basically just been going, like, I've decided that I'm just going to go through and just work on as much scenery as I can and, like, lay the last of the track, which all I have left are some straight bits up at one end of the branch line. And then and then I'm done, unless I want to add anything else, I'm done laying track.
Nice.
Like, finally. Yeah. let's see here. But here's the section I've been messing around with since earlier this week. This is the area known as Blair Mills. Once the picture comes up, might take a minute. But this is the area known as Blair Mills. It's a little mining town along the creek. I have no idea what I'm going to name the creek yet. And the thing I like about it is when I was putting in all the foam, like under the track and stuff, all that's just scrap foam that I just hot glued to the table. So I haven't, like, the only money I've spent over there directly is on plaster cloth, and I had just enough to do the surrounding hills. I still need to buy more of it to do one more section, and then I'm done doing plaster cloth, so then I can do the fun stuff.
Alright, let me show the pictures. Oh, whoops, it's not there yet.
Yeah, it's going to take a minute.
Well, I'm excited that, I mean, hey, at least this lets people... Oh, my brain's not working. At least this quarantine is letting people work on their layouts at home a little more. Unfortunately, I don't have a space for one, but, you know.
Yes.
Eventually.
It is the way it is.
Just
Someday, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm slowly working on mine. Got to buy some more cork road bed. But so that's my next step.
You need to buy a couple cases of toilet paper first.
Yeah, exactly. I spent all my money on toilet paper, so I can't buy anything for my layout yet. But it's coming soon.
I see your mills here, Jader.
Yeah, and and all the buildings over there, those are all from, I know I've talked about this before on here, but all the buildings over there are from my friend Jacob's grandfather. He had this huge layout in his basement, and starting, I think, 4 or 5 years ago now, when I first met him, he was just starting to tear it down and, get rid of all the buildings. And I had these so far, and I was looking for a place to use them. And I had an idea of, okay, I want to have a coal mine over here. I just don't know how I want everything else. Do I want to do a little town over here? And then everything just kind of fell into place. The hotel is, I don't know, I mean, I'm going to keep it, like, how I'm picturing it is, it's not like a tourist hotel. It's like, all right, it's like it's like a company hotel. Like all the employees just live there.
Got the second picture now. Yeah, these are very well done buildings.
Yeah. And I want to try to use, and I'm probably going to try to get more, even if I don't have room for them, just get as many as I can. Because they're, especially now, they're going to be, I want to use them as like a memorial to his grandfather, because he passed, not a week ago, yesterday, I think.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, bittersweet, suppose.
Yeah.
Because you have this stuff to remember him by. Oh, third picture.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I'm putting one more of the plastic cloth that I put up today around the on the hills around there. I had just enough.
Reminds me of a Christmas...
So I need to...
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, no. I'll seg off of this because I have one more thing to touch on before we move on, unless somebody else has something. So, you're putting up cloth?
Yeah, that was all, or once it sends, that's just all plaster that I had. I had some left over from just other stuff, and then I ordered 10 feet on Amazon, which 10 feet of plaster cloth at least. Like, I'm surprised I had just enough to do the background hill there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna cover everything else in sculpt mold.
Is it like 10 square feet?
I think it's 10 linear feet.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah, I think it's 10 linear feet. And then I'm thinking I need maybe 15 feet more because I have one more section to do. I need, I think, another 10 or 15 linear feet plaster cloth to do it. But it's on Amazon. It's like $13, I think, and it should be everything I need, and then I can start doing the fun stuff, rocks and grass and trees and all that kind of fun stuff. So it's almost there.
It's getting there.
Yeah,
It is looking
it's all
good.
coming together. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
It's all coming together.
I wanted to say that it reminds me of Chris Catino was a prolific layout builder and building maker and things like that. He had a lot of very well detailed stuff, and he was a friend of the Providence Northern. He passed away. He basically all of his stuff went to the PN, and a lot of it got sold on eBay. I think we made like a few grand off of selling buildings, which is just crazy. They were gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. I don't know how you ship any of them without them busting, but hey.
Yeah.
It's it was really nice just looking those things over. Not that I would have had anything to do with them, but
Ooh, that building with the wooden building up there is really nice. The last picture you sent.
Oh, the mine? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to be... I've debated putting it there because it's just, because it's so effing tall. But I'm sure once I put the hill in and then add trees to kind of block it, I'm sure it'll look okay.
It'll look great, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I feel like the trees will hide most of like the stilting. So
yeah, that's my main thing. And then I need to do some repairs on it because some of the legs have come detached and doesn't sit completely level. But it's all stuff I can repair with just like scrap wood that I have laying around.
TJ, do you have the honor of still being on the email chains from the PN?
Talking about how they can't leave their houses.
Yeah, because the conversations about the virus are kind of funny to look at. I mean, I'm glad that everyone's keeping safe because there's like no member of the club younger than 60.
I know.
But
except for you.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but we don't count.
Yeah.
Or Alice doesn't count.
TJ, you definitely don't count. We threw you out.
Yeah, I definitely don't count.
But the one of the first things that got sent out was one of the guys sending out like a list of, don't be concerned, but here's what you should do, and the entire email was in all caps. And it's just like, yeah, this isn't alarming looking at all. But yeah,
it's kind of interesting to see it from that perspective.
Yeah, they are. I do feel bad for them because they're like trying to get Peapod sometimes, and it takes weeks to get groceries delivered, stuff like that. I was thinking for a minute, like, oh, I'll do your shopping for you and whatever, and I've just been working long hours. I need to keep the friggin' house clean. Whatever. Anyway, stay safe, everybody. Stay inside. Don't congregate with people. Stay 6 feet apart, if at all possible. I mean, I guess aside from the people you live with, but...
Nah, dude.
And if you have to go to work, be doubly careful.
Yes,
and if you're a New Yorker, don't come to Rhode Island, because they'll put you in detention for 2 weeks.
Oops.
Yeah, I heard about that, like, right before we started this.
Yeah. We're apparently screening cars, because I don't know, I guess it's particularly bad in New York City, so they're...
Yeah, they're like the main hotspot,
like
I think.
Center, I think.
It's like 57,000 last time I looked.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of people there.
Christ.
Yeah.
All very
Population density, people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hey, Hey, don't worry. Putin says in Russia there is no disease at all. No pandemic. It's not a problem.
Ooh, good thing.
Trump, is that you?
Even though it's next to China.
Well, to be fair, they have Siberia separating the two of them.
True.
It's true.
Anyway.
Just wait until they report like some.
That doesn't mean
Breaking
that
news.
that the eastern part of the far east part of Russia can't have it.
Yeah, well, nobody's there anyway. Don't worry.
Yeah.
In Vladivostok.
Vladivostok. Anyway, let's
Anyway.
move on from the coronavirus.
I hate talking about it, but it keeps coming up. That's how it is.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
hard to not talk about it because
I know, because
it is-
nobody's... Anyway, we're talking about it again.
everyone's dealing with it. You know,
yeah,
it's sort of like
it's one thing
It's sort
we
of like
have in
small
common.
talk about the weather. You know, people go to that because you're experiencing the same weather. Everyone's experiencing having to shut themselves in and not get sick and whatever. We don't want anybody to die about this. I literally had one of my friends talking to me today. She was like, my mom is a nurse and she's working with coronavirus patients, and if she gets the coronavirus, she will probably die. So we had a conversation with a lawyer about last will and testament today, and I was like, that's horrifying.
That's
That is
depressing.
horrifying, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So let's do something less horrifying. Leibold? Where'd he go? It's that time.
Well,
Uh-oh.
He has one job.
Uh-oh.
Leibold!
Sorry, I had my mic muted.
Shame on you.
What, you want something less horrifying? This is not the segment. But I guess we might as well do it anyway. Maybe it'll make this whole thing look better. It's time for...
Yes.
Why didn't we do a Chinese engine?
Oh.
Alright,
Oh,
and in one
alright.
corner, we have... Eric, do you have a picture of your thing? There it is.
engine versus an Italian engine.
Who
See, now
will
I wish
win?
we had thought of
Nobody.
this. The Corona versus.
slow Corona.
Low Corona. Low Corona. In one
Hello,
corner we have... Eric, what is this thing?
The Japanese government railway 8700.
Okay.
Superheated
In one corner we
variant.
have the 8700, which is definitely not a British engine, and in the other corner we have the Hocking Valley
We have the Hocking
T-2.
Valley T2.
T-2.
Yeah, T-2. Or CNO F-13, depending on who you ask.
Okay, well, I am looking at these two, and that isn't standard gauge, is it, Eric?
No.
Alright, well, I don't know why we're doing
That
this.
is... Yeah...
Alright,
That is excessively ugly.
Yeah, I don't like that Japanese thing.
We didn't have that many
How
460s.
ugly
And
is
Jeff
it?
is the
Oh
only one I
my
can grab a
God.
picture of.
could we not have pitted it against, like,
A
Lucy or
large
something?
standard gauge 10-wheeler.
Or wait, what? Could we have...
You said, could we not have pitted it
could we
against
not
a
have? Oh,
large...
sorry, yeah, no, I mean... Alright, well, if you
Hey,
guys think this is a
nobody-
fair
nobody
fight,
objected.
you could just, we
I
can,
don't think this is a fair
we can
fight.
proceed with the... whatever's
Nobody
going to
objected.
happen here.
I think Eric here has the Yamato and Jader has the Fat Man.
Jesus. This is not the Yamato. This is like a destroyer.
This is a fishing boat anchored off Tokyo.
Do you see torpedo boats? Anyway,
Okay.
alright,
God, it's
I'll let
ugly.
Eric go first because Pearl Harbor.
Wow.
Oh, wow, okay. Alright. Where should I start?
I
no,
hate this engine.
I hate it too,
I
trust me.
hate it.
Someday the World War II jokes will get old, but today is not that day.
Today is not that day.
What is your local base ID?
My local base ID... 6,462.
3807.
God damn it.
Alright, first of all, how? Second of all, you had so many other things to pick.
Is Loco Base ID randomized? There's no way that's the order that these things were added.
I'm pretty sure it's the order these
The
things
order
were added.
these things were added. Alright, I'll go then from all the way to the top to all the way at the bottom, your power computation.
Which one?
Our captain.
Robert Lamasima's power computation.
Okay, you cut out there. Why are we doing this? Why are you doing this?
I hate everything about this.
We come back from a hiatus, and this is what happens.
All right. 9,342.
3686.
Goodbye.
Alright,
Okay.
well, Jader, can you just
How-
end this man and get it over with? Please.
All right. Let's just do this section.
Can we
Okay,
just
same as
give
above
Eric
plus
2?
superhero percentage.
Same as above plus superhero percentage, 4607.
Wait, 46? Oh, wait. 10,930.
Yeah, can we give Eric double everything? Like it's 2 of these versus the 1? Because I think then it might be fair.
Good lord.
You know what? Yeah.
We can,
No, I'm not, we're not
lose.
actually doing that.
Alright.
We're not,
Yeah.
we're not actually doing that.
Oh,
We could
Oh.
fight Lucy.
I think that would be better.
We could
we-
fight. I'm trying to think of another 10. We could do like the ET and WNC or whatever the hell that railroad is. They're 10-wheelers.
you know what? I think that's a more better fair fight. Can we do a rollback here?
Oh my god.
I didn't realize Jader was doing something huge in standard gauge.
How did you not see this coming? Eric,
Is it rewind
Eric
time?
pulls out. Yes, it's rewind time. Eric pulls out this little Japanese thing and then puts it against something standard gauge in the U.S. and wonders why it doesn't go well.
All right.
can we
I
get
don't
like
wonder,
a-
because I usually know it's not going to go well.
Yeah, but
I'll do 20 then.
Can we pull out 20, or can we get like a
Did
no,
DBT ever have 10-wheelers or?
did they?
Yeah.
I think they did.
Maybe. Let's find out.
Because Lucy, the only thing is she's a fair bit older than this.
EBT.
Well, how
Yep.
old is this?
East Broad Tap. Okay. Yep.
Me?
EBT had
Yes.
2. Wait. No, hang on a minute.
Hold on.
They had 2 of these. Okay.
Dumbest thing in the history of it.
Let's see. East Broad Tap.
This is the one podcast that we plan out Locomotive versus ahead of time, and we're
not-
having to redact it because we're too damn stupid to get it.
Oh God! Wait, what happened?
Eric was getting just thrashed, and we realized there's no point in this. I mean, to be fair, if it had continued on, maybe you would have come back with something. But
Okay.
It's certainly not going to win style points. Look at the thing.
It is ugly.
Fell out of the ugly tree and hit every single branch on the way down.
yikes!
I think that's the only picture of these. Well, wait.
What about
Or-
You're old.
Let's go with East Broad Tap because
we-
East Broad Tap.
We need something that's not outrageously old. What is the?
What about the ET and WNC engines?
Hold on. What?
I'm
These are Cape
1912.
gauge, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, dumb idea.
Guy.
What?
How about this guy?
Uh-oh.
If it loads. Hang on. Just the link work.
EBT4. I think
It's
that's
not-
what I just put.
What are you?
It's not an EBT engine.
Oh, it's the Tweetsy thing.
Yeah, it's ET and WNC. I don't actually know what that stands for, but
I forget.
it's a fairly modern 3-foot gauge 10-wheeler.
Yep. Sure.
And we almost certainly have stats for it because one of them survives.
All right. What is
All right.
it?
Sure.
Two of them, I don't know.
Let's do this. Tweetsy number 12.
How do you find
I
it?
know. I'm trying to find it. Give me a sec.
Hold on. I got
4.6
you.
a 10-wheeler.
I got you.
You got it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
let me find it.
Oh, there
East
we go.
Tennessee and West North Carolina.
Number.
What
Wow.
a name!
That is
Yeah,
a name.
you just need a Southern in there. East Tennessee and West North Carolina Southern.
Why is it in here twice?
What?
Wait. Huh?
Why is it in here twice?
It's not. They're two. Huh?
It's the class, not the locomotive number.
But they're exactly the same, at least like build date and all that stuff is the
Probably
same.
like pre-superheat and
They're
post-superheat.
called twins. It
Let's
happens.
see.
The latter
No,
one is lighter.
Well, what?
It's lighter for some reason.
Oh, okay.
Pick
Let's
one.
just do the first. Let's do the first one.
Okay.
All right, and in
The
the other
class
corner we have.
10.
What is it? Where
Hang on.
did we get the
Hang on,
picture?
real quick. Just. All right, and now it's time for emphasis.
Rewind time.
We'll just pretend the last few minutes didn't exist, didn't happen.
Editor, cut the
Yeah.
cut that last part out.
Editor, cut that out. Cut that out.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Edit that out.
There is no editor, only Zool.
Oh no.
Alright, here's a good picture of number 12.
I am the meme master.
I got a
Are you the
picture.
gatekeeper?
Okay, so for real this time. Can we replace the T
Once more with feeling.
Once
Yeah.
more
Okay.
with feeling. You know what? Something I'm
Okay.
gonna do now that I'm stuck home.
I got it.
I promised
What's that?
the guys
What?
in the fan chat a 113 only Loco Royale. Because they were
God.
arguing about they constantly argue about which 113 is the best, so we're gonna do basically up to 5 as many 113s as we can get, including CNJ 113 and Florida East Coast 113,
Okay.
because those are
Oh
the
my
two
God.
that keep getting argued about. We're gonna do a 113 Royale. So I'll do that
God.
in the coming, I don't know, week or two, hopefully. Now that I'm here. Anyway.
Might as well. All right.
Anyway, all right,
Yeah.
for real this time.
For real this
uh,
time.
And this time-
The picture's something.
This time I'll give it to Jader, just to
Okay.
be fair.
Okay. Probably lose that. When were you built?
1912.
1915.
Slightly newer.
This is a good fight.
Hopefully.
It's a better fight. How about that?
Hopefully.
Okay. What is your valve gear?
Wall shirts.
Damn it. All shirts.
Alright,
That's
Eric.
usually a. All right. What's your driver wheelbase?
10 feet.
A
I feel like
13.48
that was a
feet.
mistake.
That was a mistake.
Long boy.
I just
What?
looked at these two.
Okay.
Jader.
Who built you?
Oh.
North Britain.
That explains a lot.
Okay.
Wow, I
Baldwin.
never could have guessed.
Alright, Baldwin.
Baldwin supremacy. Okay.
North Britain. Isn't that
I would
Scotland?
lose that.
It says North British. What more do you want from me?
I think North Britain was actually in Scotland. They did a lot of the Caledonian stuff.
All right. What is your engine wheelbase?
Engine wheelbase 24.5.
19.5.
Nice.
5 feet shorter than you, motherfucker.
Which is bizarre if you
Right.
look at these two. Anyway,
Yeah.
Yeah.
sense of scale and all that.
Yeah.
Right, Jader.
Okay. What is your overall wheelbase, engine and tender?
Overall wheelbase engine and tender is 34.31.
God damn it.
Feet.
46.
Yes. Feet.
Holy cow.
Small.
Small.
It's like not even as long as a boxcar.
Look at that tender. That's why.
Yeah, but Loco and Tender not even as long as a box. Wow.
That's, yeah, small.
Small, teeny weeny weeny. Perfect sync for me.
Hey.
Carrying on.
I like how these both have little windows above the boiler, and one is round and one is square. I just happen to notice that. Just things to pick up on. Anyway, Eric.
Okay, trying to tread the minefield again. What is your minimum weight of rail?
Weight of rail. 44 pounds per yard.
Whew. Close. 46.
Ah. Suck it.
You're gonna win anything for... Why are you such a chonker, Eric?
I don't
Alright.
know.
Chonk.
Too much rice.
Wow.
Welcome to the rice field.
That was incredibly great.
Did the Japanese eat much rice?
Yes!
Okay.
Every meal has
Rice
rice
farming,
with
rice
it.
kingdom spread across the land, all the way to here.
Where do they have room for rice patties?
On the mountains.
Everywhere.
When I think rice patties, I think China and Nam. I don't think Japan.
Well, is that
So-
because we've never waged war on the ground there?
Maybe? I don't know.
You just haven't seen
Alright.
any...
We've
Oh,
never
okay,
waged war on the
moving
ground
on
in
from
China,
Yes,
but,
we have.
you know.
Moving on from the racism, I'm sorry. Okay. Let's do
World War
tender
II?
water and coal capacity.
It's not...
Doesn't
You can't
do.
do two. Pick one.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh,
You can't
right.
do-
Let's just do water.
You can't do that.
Alright, then do it.
Water.
You can't do it. I
Oh,
don't
I thought
have
you
it.
said you can.
You
Alright,
don't.
No, I don't have water and I don't have fuel. I
God
run
damn
on
it.
I run on hopes and dreams.
It runs
You
on
run.
rice.
I was about to say you run to the will of the Emperor, but that works.
All right. Let's do total engine and tender weight.
Total engine and tender weight. That I can do. 199,496.
What? 199?
199,000.
158,800.
What is your tender made of? Jesus Christ.
Lead. Stone. The Scottish made it out of rocks. Oh, that's a fair bit of work there, Seamus. Put it on wheels and send it to the Japanese.
God.
We'll see what happened is, half of these engines never had tenders because the ship carrying the tenders sunk.
Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah, Jader.
All right.
Why is it like this? I've
let's
just noticed
do-
something on the Japanese end. Just like, why?
What? What did you just notice?
I'll talk about it later.
Okay.
Actually, that
Let's
weight
do
is...
weight on drivers.
Okay.
What was it? I didn't hear.
Weight on drivers.
Wait on drivers. Oh god, that's heavy. What over here? I do because of that. Okay, 83,533.
80,050.
Hold up. That's less than the weight of the tender?
What is the
The tender weighs more than the locomotive?
The tender weighs more than the locomotive. What the fuck?
What? The tenders
No.
really are made of granite.
Oh my
They're
god.
made out of fucking rocks.
Jader, what was yours? Did you win? Who won that?
Oh.
He was like 80 something. Tater, how much did you weigh on drivers?
80,000. Oh, drivers?
Yeah, how much?
80,050.
80,050, okay.
And Eric says...
Yeah, weight on drivers 83,000. Oh no, 83,533.
Okay, that was close. I
God.
mean, at least that's just weight on drivers. I can only
Okay.
assume what they did was they put the engine away into storage, and they filled it with concrete, and then they weighed it, just because they realized, oh, we want the weight of this.
But we don't want anyone to steal the tender with a crane or a jetpack.
Actually,
So we're gonna fill it with cement, but leave it on wheels.
I have a new theory.
Oh no.
Underneath the
Is this
cement...
some conspiracy of defending the Japanese homeland from the Allies in World War II?
Actually, it's where they hid all the gold. They were
the
concerned.
Nazis or the Imperials?
Yes.
Anyway.
Okay. Proceed.
Okay.
Fuck
Let's
this
do. Let's do
It's
tender
so
loaded.
ugly.
Wait, do you have tender loaded weight?
I do.
Okay.
89,067.
Wait. Stop. That's less than the tender weight.
What?
If you add the two together, it doesn't give you the right number.
He just said tender loaded weight. Didn't we already do tender weight?
Oh,
No, we
did
did
not.
total
we did
weight.
total. Yeah, we did total engine and tender weight.
Okay.
We've done total and locomotive.
Okay.
Correct.
Misunderstood.
Okay.
Okay.
Also, okay, that makes more sense. What was the tender weights now?
89,067.
Okay, and
60,000 even.
60. Okay, well that's still outrageously heavy.
Yeah, the Japanese tender still weighs more than the locomotive.
No, just on drivers though. Just on drivers.
Yes.
All right. Let's move on from this part.
Yes, please.
Okay. What's your driver diameter?
63.
That was not a good one.
45. Who wins there?
bigger
Definitely
driver.
Eric.
Eric.
Eric
Oh,
by a
speed.
lot.
Yeah, you have the tiny drivers.
Oh, God.
It's so cute though.
That doesn't help you. Right now it doesn't.
It will. Japanese engine got beat with an ugly stick.
Right?
Hey, we can blame the British for this one.
Yes.
Mighty Princess.
Shut up. Fuck, what are your high pressure cylinders? Fuck it.
16 by 22.
Ooh! 18.5 by 24.02.
Wow.
God damn it. Okay. Fair enough.
What's your vector of adhesion?
4.18.
4.09.
Ooh,
Oh.
that's pretty good.
That's good. Nice job.
Especially for something British made.
Well, it's not like they didn't know how to build an engine, they just didn't know how to build one that looks any good.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
What's your tractive effort?
19,100.
20,431.
Wow, that's close.
Oh my god.
Shit, okay.
Alright.
How'd you get this far? How did you get this far? I don't know, I didn't think I'd get this far.
I just kept saying stats and it kept working.
It just kept working, it just started working. Well, the rest of these I know I'm gonna probably lose, but you know, whatever. Actually, how many of you existed?
I hate you.
Woof.
4.
30!
That's a really low number for Eric.
Yeah, it's for
This is-
yeah, no, right?
Because the Japanese usually have like several thousand of
9,000?
everything.
Not gonna ask that. Firebox area? That's probably really small.
116 square feet.
Oh shit! 125.89.
Oh
Wow.
my god.
All right. Go down from there. What's your grade area?
15.5.
20.01.
God
Holy
damn
crap.
What's
God.
your, what's your evaporative heating surface?
it. 1303.
That is a tiny little firebox. on both of them.
1,081.
Wait, what?
1,081.
Eric
Somehow.
lost. Just as he
Somehow
was
I
about to
lost,
take the
okay.
lead.
Oh.
Hold on a sec.
Hello?
Hello?
He's dead.
He's dead, Jim.
R.I.P.
Do I win by default then?
No.
No. I was up. Let's do that. Fuck. Did that. Okay. Yeah, let's do evaporative heating surface divided by cylinder volume.
I hate you. 144.65.
254.51.
Wow, that's good.
Nice. Okay.
Seems like a house fire.
What is your
Since when a
boiler
house
pressure?
fires steam?
It is boiler pressure is
Houses have water in them.
184
Huh?
184.20.
God damn it. 180.
Oh my god.
What? No.
Has he pulled ahead?
No.
Nope. He's
It's like
within a point
close.
now again.
It's 9-10.
Classy.
Sorry, that was my dog.
Raise that again. We'll put it to a vote.
So I'm ready to go to style points.
We can't yet.
Die.
We need one more point.
No. Okay, Eric.
Power 01.
Okay. 4,965.
12,882.
What?
What?
All right.
Okay.
Well,
So I'm starting to think that these stats are made up.
The Japanese are like, yes,
where
we're
everything's
following.
made up and the points don't matter.
I was about to. The Japanese are like, yes, of course we're following the treaties.
Yeah, that'd be ridiculous.
What is your combined heating surface?
Oh boy. Wait a minute.
Did
Wait.
No,
we didn't do that.
Do it. Answer the question.
Yeah. 1303.
1,444.
Oh,
Are
what?
you superheated?
We did not. Yeah, I am superheated. Yes.
Well. Okay.
Wow,
Since
you not?
That was surprising.
No.
Jader is not.
Well.
And
Right,
here's
okay.
where the smoke falls.
All right. Well, since you don't have that, same as above. Let's see. We didn't do Robert Lee Messina's power computation.
Yes, we
right?
did.
We did. Okay.
We did. Yeah.
Did we do
did?
same as above plus superheater percentage?
Did
We
we do
did.
that for this one, or did we do that for the
We
last
did that for
one?
the last
did that for the-
one.
This one. Let's see what happens.
What? You
What?
broke up. Say it again.
Who?
I broke up.
Yes.
Bring my mic a little bit closer.
Breaking up.
Okay. Since we didn't do it for this one, let's do Robert Lee Messina's power computation.
Okay, 2790.
3,686.
All right.
Well,
I'm gonna head out.
This thing pulls ahead somehow. More.
same as above plus superheater percentage. Oh wait.
Oh,
I
boy.
hate you. 2790.
4,607.
I hate you.
Same as above, but substitute firebox area for crate area.
20,880.
28,986.
Well,
Yeah, I hate you.
Power MT.
410.22.
1,019.95.
Oh,
Did I sweep that?
that section, yeah.
Oh, sweet. Nice.
Well,
I'm ready to go to style points.
all right.
Yeah.
For for lack of
So-
any on my end, I'm gonna go. I'm out.
slight sheepish admission.
Uh-huh.
There's not a lot that I can find that's great about the ET and WNC engines. At least there's not nearly as much great about them as there is that's objectively wrong with the Japanese engine.
Oh God. When Wybold
We'll
finds
start with the
things
positives, yes?
Yes. Go
All
ahead.
right.
So the ET and WNC engine carries derail frogs.
Well, that's a good one. That's a good start. You need those. Those are nice to have.
It also, for some reason, carries car pulling poles on the side of the tender.
It does?
Yes,
Where?
you can see them in this photograph.
Can
Oh,
you send it?
It's on the fireman's side. I'm looking at number 10. It's a picture of it on a passenger train back in the day.
oh, okay.
Can you send the picture?
Yes, let me see if I can open it in a new tab.
Look at this
Oh,
photograph.
Look at this photograph. Every time
Look
I
at
do
this
it,
graph.
makes me
Look
laugh.
at this graph.
Look at this graph.
Look at this graph.
Oh, I see
Additionally,
it.
the ET and WNC engine has electronic stuff on it. It has a turbo and electric lighting, where the Jap does not.
Yeah, you know.
Fair enough.
Not important.
Furthermore, Japan.
Uh,
Why? Oh, also,
wait.
you did have switcher boards for a brief period, which I don't know if we want to give you that or
What does
Yes.
that do?
it's like rather than having a full cow catcher, you have a board across the front so you can have somebody ride on the front of the engine.
Eh.
It's just something.
Yeah.
It's just something that's a thing. Japan, meanwhile, you do have the clock face, that's good. Makes getting into the smoke box a hell of a lot easier. You do not have a pilot, really. The only thing you don't have anything to keep stuff from getting sucked under the wheels, and the only thing you have to keep things from being cut in half by the pilot wheels are giant knives in front of you. So that it's not the wheel that does the cutting, it's those. Additionally...
That's a style point for giant knives?
yes.
No, not style point for giant knives.
Actually, they're
No.
called
Bad.
katanas and they're very honorable.
Twin katanas. So look at the picture I just posted of the engineer's side. I don't know how they do stuff, but it's our engineer's side, and that's all that matters. The air tank, the air reservoir.
It's in like a
I
box.
can only assume that's so that there's a walkway on top of the tank so you can get over it, but then they put a pipe directly down that walkway for the condensing coil. So you've created something so that you don't have to step on the air tank, but then put pipes all over it.
At least you can not step on the pipe.
Yeah, I guess.
Also,
That's a thing.
that what do you call it? The pipe that goes down to the cylinders. Why?
The branch pipe cover.
Yeah, the branch pipe cover. That's a bastard to step over. I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm not real sure what that's about. At least it has a little hatch so you can inspect the snifter, I guess. Which is good. Although it has the weird Penzi snifters and it's down on the side, so there's no reason really to get in there unless you're looking at the terminal checks. Assuming this thing has terminal checks, but you know.
Well, you can't forget the snifters and the terminal checks.
Precisely. Yeah. I don't like this Japanese engine. It's ugly.
What is up with the smokestack?
It's cast. it's a cast. I say that like smokestacks aren't usually cast, but
Giant spool of golden thread.
yeah. It's like it's like a cooling tower for a nuclear power plant.
Yeah.
I just love the way the ETWNC engine looks. It looks so tidy and neat. The Japanese engine looks like crap.
Just one of the few
Can I get a
times
stat-
Japanese engine looks like crap.
Just
Can I get 2 style points? Okay. First one, number 12 still exists, and as far as I know, it still runs. I
They
don't
do.
know.
yeah, it runs.
Yeah.
And
It still
second,
runs.
number 12 is green.
No.
I will not allow a style point for green.
I
Well,
will,
you don't
however,
have any say in it.
I will, however,
But they
give
were
a
green.
style point for not having a 3-axle tender. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Can the ET and WNC engine also have, even though you don't like the gold, look at all the trim it has everywhere.
No, I do like the gold. I was going
I was
to
gonna
say
say,
not for the green,
it's
but for the gold.
beautiful.
It is very flashy. And its valve gear is backwards, and it confounds me still.
Well,
Oddly enough, they both have the little, flagpole things on the pilot beam.
yeah, they do.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's just an overkill kind of handrail and something else to trip over as you're trying to get back to the cab.
Yeah, if you're
also-
light. Oh wait,
Yeah. I don't know if that's historic or if that's something the Tweetsy added, but the ET and WNC engine has a muffler on the safety valve. one of them that I can see.
That's a,
Safety
I don't know.
valve muffler. How's that go?
It muffles
Yeah.
the safety valve so it doesn't go. It kind of goes.
that
Boom.
must be nice.
It is. It would be very nice. None of ours have mufflers.
I was gonna say
Grand
ours.
was too cheap.
Ours doesn't. Something Baldwin spare parts, but anyway.
Where's our score at?
He's winning by
17,
one.
16, me.
I mean, they're fairly similar otherwise. They have a similar air pump setup. Although the ET and WNC engine actually exhausts up the stack, which helps your draft a little bit, whereas the JNR engine just exhausts in front of it.
Oh.
Um,
I mean, I can't think of anything else.
I can't really either.
Alright,
Although
well,
the sand dome is cast. Why is the sand dome cast?
on what?
On
Me.
the Jap.
Why not?
It makes it so incredibly heavy, and same with the smoke box, but I guess they don't care about that because they made the tender out of concrete.
I'm actually wondering if anybody took those measurements, or, since the measurements were taken, if anybody has gone in and checked the tender for, like, bodies, gold, black holes, anything.
The universe spirals in slowly to that tender.
Actually, that's why they have the filler cap shut for the
Yeah.
cistern. That's why they don't know how much water is in there, how much water it can take, because they keep pouring it in and it just disappears.
Well, if we ever do go to Japan, we're gonna make it a mission to go see this engine. Find out.
Drying of the oceans
I don't want to get
linked
too
to
close
one.
and die.
Drying of the oceans linked to one Japanese steam locomotive and its insatiable appetite.
Oh my!
But if we've learned anything from the beginning of this episode, it's if you leave it alone long enough, the rust will close up the black hole.
Yep.
So anyway,
In fact,
that's Locomotive Versus.
Oh,
that was something.
that was definitely something.
Yeah.
Surprisingly close.
It was.
Yeah.
I guess the Japanese can blame the British for their failures right now, I guess. This
Yes.
time. Well, they get to be angry at the other island nation, so... Major island nation, I guess. There are plenty of other island nations.
Like Australia.
Who is
they don't
still on
count.
fire?
Land down under base boost.
Greenland.
Does anybody live in Greenland? I didn't think so.
I don't know.
Maybe.
About Iceland.
Oh. Iceland's basically that volcanic island from The Incredibles, right?
Is Earth just an island in space?
Yes, thank you,
Now
yeah.
we're getting to metaphysical shit.
The sky is bigger than the ground.
This is true.
Okay, so by the
I'm not
point,
sure
17 to
this-
16, and then let's cast our votes. Bible, I think I know what you're voting for.
Yep.
TJ?
It's definitely gonna have to be the Tweety engine.
Okay.
Good.
And that'll give a pity point to the Japanese thing.
No,
Say
no,
this
don't,
again, a
don't
pity
even give me the pity point. Don't
No.
even give me the pity point.
Fine, I'll give you a legitimate point. Because I think the Tweetsy thing is awfully
For-
gaudy.
Hang on. To give it a legitimate thing, you have to think of one positive that you actually genuinely like about the
It's
locomotive.
painted black.
Okay. I see a Tweetsy and I want to paint it black.
There you go. That's my
Right
one
then.
positive. Alright, now,
I'm just curious,
let's go
were these green?
Pieces.
stones?
some other positives in the news.
It's
Go ahead.
time for the news. And there has been a lot going on. Can we talk about Skookum real quick?
Yes.
Skookum
Yes.
is now available in trains, thanks to Trains Forge. There he is. There it is. How much?
And it's
where is
gorgeous.
this? It is gorgeous. It'll cost you $7.50 American.
That's not bad.
That is not bad at all.
Oops, that didn't go there.
I might have to pick it up.
Yeah, I want some
Wanna play
Skookum.
that.
Is it just the engine?
It's just the engine in every scheme it came
I
in.
was about to say, it's a bunch of versions, isn't it? Yeah.
It's a bunch of versions.
Yep.
But also in related release news, Green Coast released 2 things since we've been gone. The E6s and the Norfolk and Western M2s. I did not even talk about that.
The
What? Did I
You
steal the
got
wrong
rid
thing?
of it.
Oh, I stole the
Yes, you
wrong
deleted the wrong thing.
thing. Where is it? Here's the E6s.
The E6s.
I knew it was a. Here's the thing. I knew it was a Pensy thing, and I saw K&L, and I went, K&L makes Pensy things. I had the other thing on my mind. The did anybody steal the MP54 that's coming out?
No.
It's already out.
Oh,
Yeah, it's already
that is
out.
out. Sorry, that came out. I should say. Well,
I
K&L
didn't even
released that.
Yeah,
I did take that. Yeah, that
you
makes
took
more
that.
sense. It is probably one of the shortest promos we've ever seen. But hey,
It really is, yeah.
I'd love to see just random stuff out of K&L. Sometimes it's not even Steam engines. And we have MP54s on the DLS, and they're really old. Like, really old. I can't wait to...
4, I think.
Yeah, I can't wait to get these and take them and pair them with the coaches that came with 3713. Because,
Yes.
tidbit of history for those who do not know, the MP54s, some of them were sold to the Boston and Maine, and that's why the Boston and Maine went, hey, we like this reddish color, we're going to paint stuff. And that was the beginning of, well, the way that train set looked iconically.
Nice. But
Cool.
speaking of K&L, he went narrow gauge.
Yeah, speaking of things that K&L doesn't do.
Yeah, speaking of things K&L doesn't do, they went narrow gauge. Gonna be doing a K36. Green, perhaps?
Probably not.
I don't actually know if the K-36s were ever green.
Well, let's ask our friend Jerry Day.
Well,
Speaking of green things, actually, Eric, you want to talk about the other big green thing?
The other big green thing.
It's big,
Oh
and it's
yes,
green, and it's pointy,
3801 is back in one piece and is painted.
and it's shiny.
Looks gorgeous.
Fake high five.
They were green.
It is green. It is very, very green.
It's very, very green.
Now,
They is green.
very green.
okay, there are 2 places I
Yeah.
can go with this. It's speaking of iconic paint schemes, or speaking of iconic paint schemes on some things that are really, really ugly. And because we had
Yes.
plenty of ugly during Locomotive Versus, I'll go there.
Okay.
The White Pass and Yukon has painted
Oh.
their engines.
Oh! Oh no, that looks terrible!
Hold on. The what?
And what happened?
The White Pass painted
Oh,
their
the new
engines.
things.
Oh yeah, the new engine. I honestly don't think it's as bad as it was initially with the paint scheme on it.
I agree with you. However,
It looks like someone just chopped the front off.
Yeah, it still looks like it's been punched in the face. Also,
Hmm?
where does somebody on the front of the engine ride? How do you get on the front of the engine?
You
Also, the
don't.
cut lever. The cut lever sucks. Why is it... These engines
Isn't
puzzle
that
me.
stupid? Hey, what? I've never noticed. What?
it's not
Wait.
good.
No, it's not, but you know.
There's
Wait a minute.
nothing good about this.
What is the? What?
It's a locomotive. That's good.
I mean, can they say that it's a locomotive?
It's
It's
got
It's definitely a
Turn
locomotive.
signals by the look of it.
Listen, you gotta let people know. How are people gonna know the train is coming? Well, actually, if you're in Florida, you can tell the train is coming by all the construction that's been going on along the side of the highway. We've got a video on Instagram from Brightline about their current expansion project showing a lot of construction, among other things. And that is the most that Brightline's been doing lately. Well, almost, sort of. Let's go in
The
order
Brightline
here.
killer.
Brightline. Usually when I have an article that I've just entitled Brightline, it's usually Brightline hitting somebody. Yep.
Yep.
Car clipped by Brightline train after driver stops on tracks. I think was there a video of this? No, there was a video of something. But, hey, Brightline hit another person. Or car, in this case. Nobody died, I don't think, this time.
No, not this time.
And then Brightline did something else. Let's see. Brightline... Nope. Yeah, another Brightline death. A different car. Man, that one's messed up. 44 people have lost their lives on the railroad tracks, so they are keeping count. But this person...
since they started, or this year?
Since they started.
Okay.
A motorist went around the lowered arm, was caught on the tracks by the train. Hey, I don't know how you could have predicted that. It's not like, there are arms and gates and lights and everything.
It's a train.
And then we have 2 articles detailing that Brightline basically is shutting down. Due to COVID, they are no longer going to be running trains. Leibold, you made an excellent point, which is with Brightline shutting down because of the coronavirus, it's possible the coronavirus right now is actually saving lives.
Which is just a wrinkle in the whole thing.
It's quite a wrinkle.
There's a ripple in the space-time continuum, Marty.
Yeah, and through it comes Brightline, and hits you.
Yep.
So, has anyone else been hit? Let's talk about these destructive events. And then we have 30-some articles on the coronavirus to cover.
It's like, dear God, so many railroads.
I don't have much on the note of being hit, but on the note of destructive news, something very special showed up on the back of a truck in Nevada not too long ago.
Yeah, what's that?
Yes.
Thank you. I was hoping somebody would ask, but...
I was busy giving you a point for the pun.
Okay. The Nevada State Railroad Museum accepted a full-sized replica of the Virginian Truckie's first locomotive, number 1, Lion. It's a cute little 260.
It's a 260?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
The engine is not complete yet. The museum is accepting donations to help the effort to work and actually finish it. But all the major mechanical stuff, the boiler, the running gear, the steam chests, all that is good and done. It needs a cab, a stack, pilot, things of that nature.
And it's
Where
a
did this come
massive
from?
stack.
Where did this come from? Because I remember...
The same guy that made Leviathan.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Because
Yes.
I remember a while back, there was somebody that was working on a locomotive, like, in their garage or something, and it got hit and caught on fire or something like that.
No, that was That's the replica RGS 36 that's supposed to go to Ridgeway.
Okay,
and we
gotcha.
still haven't heard an update on that.
RGS 30.
Shame about what happened to that.
Yeah, well.
How come I can no longer view a broadcast? Steam, what's going on?
Oof.
Yeah, that's a problem. Alright.
Alright, well, how about we talk about a locomotive getting their voice back?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about 148. They steamed her up the other day. Finally, after, how long has it been? A year?
No, it's been like probably 2 or 3. Really
two
quick.
years. Yeah, they put her back together really fast, and they
And it's like a new engine at this point.
it is completely brand new. Oop, nope, I don't want video about rare snakes. No, I want a locomotive, please.
Snack.
Snake 100.
Snake 100.
Snack.
And then
And then you have the picture of her. They actually have her completely painted.
yeah, here it is. And it looks gorgeous. Who's down for a trip to Florida to go see this thing?
Right
I
now,
would be
not
down.
so much.
Well, not right
I was
now.
gonna say,
But
once
maybe
everything
later.
calms down.
I've seen it
Maybe.
before.
You've
It
seen
was
it
in a
before.
lot of pieces. Yeah, it was in a lot of pieces and really, really ugly, but, you know.
Well, now it's not in a lot of pieces.
And now it doesn't
This is
look
true.
ugly.
Speaking of things
That don't even
being
suit.
in a lot of pieces,
Uh-oh.
2102, the T-1, has an update.
Hey.
The initial hydro test will be completed in March 2020. That's right now, apparently.
I was
It
going to say,
should have-
don't
it
have
should
many
have
days left for
passed.
that.
Okay.
Somehow
yeah,
I get the feeling it might not have happened, but, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the newest update. Oh, wait. Yep, that's it.
That's it. All right.
So who knows? Maybe COVID canceled the hydro test. Maybe not. But they says will be completed in March 2020, followed by the locomotive being reassembled and painted before its grand reintroduction into passenger service on the 400-mile Reading and Northern.
That's exciting.
That's exciting.
You know what else
Hopefully
is
it still
exciting
happens.
and involves T's and 1s?
What?
The backhead.
Yes,
It's
the backhead.
big. Check it out.
It is very big.
So, the T1 Trust has been constructing their backhead.
It is quite large.
It is very large. You can see the hole for the coal, they say, but of course it has a stoker.
Stalker.
Yeah, it's just another
Oh,
piece.
geez.
Yeah, it's
Frame.
yeah. Soon TM. What were
Eventually.
they talking about? The cylinders the other day?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't think we have an article on that, but that's
No.
exciting. Oh crap! Another piece of Brightline news. I just found this buried
Breaking
down
news.
here. Actually, this is, I guess you'd call it good news? Question mark. I mean, in my eyes, it's Brightline caving, but Virgin Trains is
doesn't
going to
go-
close railroad crossings. Again, worth noting.
Period.
Yeah, worth noting. It's going to be road closures.
We're just gonna build brick
The
walls.
first day-long railroad crossing closures. Oh, you know what? I thought this was something else. I misunderstood. Unfortunately, this is not them permanently closing railroad crossings so that people can't continually get hit by the train. This is just them closing things down to do maintenance. So,
Damn.
Brightline is going to do maintenance, and then people will continue getting hit again. Once this whole coronavirus thing
Blows
goes
over.
away, yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what will never go away?
What's that?
1309.
Oh my god.
We have 3 articles on 1309. Basically,
Oh,
we
God.
need money. Please, we need money.
Gee, I wonder why.
Well, they talk about the stolen parts.
We did a thing. A stupid thing.
You know,
Great news! What? It's 1309! I have a new article!
yeah. So basically, they need more money, and that's it.
yeah.
And moving on.
Yeah,
Moving
thank
on
you.
to a bit of Amtrak news. They derailed
They derailed bad.
the auto train.
Yeah,
Oh.
like real bad.
It was...
10 cars of automobiles.
Oh,
Ooh.
no.
I
Yeah.
smell a lawsuit.
That's
I
gonna
still
be a
have
long...
fish.
10 cars worth of lawsuits. But you know,
Ugh.
it's funny that gets mentioned, because there's something in here. Yeah, there it is. I think this is it. So Amtrak's being Amtrak. Amtrak is ending their mandatory arbitration policy, which means that, or well, they're trying to, which means that if you're in an Amtrak accident, you can't sue them. Or
Like they
at
knew
least
that
that's
was
what they
coming.
want to make it. Currently, again, there's mandatory arbitration. If something happens to you on the train, they've got to make up for it. And that's the law. And probably, maybe, it might not be anymore. So, you know,
Oh! Oh, well.
enjoy getting shafted by Amtrak again and again
Nice.
with no recourse. Except,
Except?
Amtrak itself may have some more recourse now. Let me
Oh,
grab
no.
this, because this is an interesting article, which goes with something else that I grabbed. Now, the FRA has proposed on-time performance metrics for Amtrak. Now, in my head, that doesn't just mean metric. That means a rule. They issued a notice of proposed rulemaking that would define Amtrak's on-time performance, and that Amtrak trains would need to achieve an average of on-time performance of at least 80%.
Ooh.
That is a high bar for a lot of Amtrak trains.
Yeah, it really is.
And it's sort of, I mean, you think of it like this. Amtrak, when left to its own devices, does pretty well in the on-time department.
Right.
But Amtrak is not left to its own devices. Amtrak shares
No.
space.
Yes.
And so this is sort of like getting angry at your delivery driver because there was traffic. However, there may now be more legislation which would give Amtrak the right to take legal action against freight trains if activity is affecting the on-time performance.
Against freight train.
Against freight trains.
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
that's what it says.
Specifically, it's specifically
I heard
that
freight
right
train
there.
Specifically that one.
No, but
It's
this
your
is
fault we were late.
Illinois Senator Dick Durbin's Rail Passenger Fairness Act. Yes, his last name is Durbin.
I don't know
Would
this guy.
give Amtrak the right to take legal action against freight trains.
Where's the family
Uh,
directory?
An Inspector General report shows that Amtrak trains are late 27% of the time.
Hold
That's
on.
really generous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's currently being reviewed by the Senate Transportation Regulation Roads and Bridges Committee.
Oh,
So,
Page 2.
maybe Amtrak will finally have proper recourse under the law. I mean, they're supposed to have it anyway, but it doesn't happen. I don't know. More power to Amtrak. Amtrak, however, is having to cope, just like all the rest of us have, with the coronavirus.
We should just do like a crash course on all
Yeah,
the corona.
a COVID section. All right, here goes. So
Here we go, Cody.
here are 7, 8, 9 articles about Amtrak dealing with the coronavirus, including cuts, sanitizing trains more. This is an article about they canceled the nonstop Acela service. In fact, they canceled all Acela service now. You can see like the timeline go on. They limited Surfliner service. They cut all service in Pennsylvania. They
They burned our crops.
they're pulling out all the stops in the sense that they are no longer stopping anywhere.
Yeah.
They've removed all the
Fun.
stops. Now, I'll come back to the other one I have right here, but let's go down a list. Canadian National. Canadian National is moving to protect employees, cut costs, and spending during the pandemic. So, I'm not exactly sure what they're doing, because it's a Trains magazine article, so I can't read it. The UTA is doing a temporary service reduction. This one's kind of neat, so I'll come back to it. The FRA... What is the FRA doing? Let's find out. Declaration of emergency. The President declared a national emergency, and blah, 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 blah. The administrator has activated the emergency relief docket, and I don't know what that does. Because it doesn't really say. So, the FRA did something because of the coronavirus. Walters also released a statement about COVID, which is kind of strange.
That is.
But also, you can check out their new products in the link. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. No, I'm not.
Make up your mind.
Via service is being cut because of the coronavirus, unsurprisingly. Just like Amtrak. Rail Runner is canceled until further notice. Because of the coronavirus. The DNS. Same deal. Let's see, what is NS doing? NS is pursuing active measures to safeguard all our employees' health. Okay, so nothing. Got it. At least they released a statement.
So they're putting out memos. Great.
Yeah. Let's see, what else have we got? Cuyahoga, did they shut down for now?
Yes, we are shut down.
Yeah, the Cuyahoga shut down.
Hocking Valley's done. Well, yeah, we canceled our dinner train today, our Easter train, museum. We were going to do like our opening like season, which is, I think, the end of May, is postponed.
We canceled our Easter trains and are currently closed to the public.
Yarp. Hold
Yarp.
on, let me grab-
What's this about New Jersey Transit?
what is
what
New
are they
Jersey
doing?
Transit doing?
New Jersey Transit operating on or close to schedule following earlier signal issue at Penn Station. Okay.
Okay, that has nothing to do with the coronavirus unless the signal's
Well,
not
it said
affected.
it said it had something to do with the COVID, but it does not. You lied to me.
Oh, I'm sorry, my bad. Whatever. It's New Jersey.
It's New Jersey.
Well,
New
I'll throw
Jersey.
that in there anyway.
All right.
and then-
There's something about the Shinkansen I saw in here.
Yeah, it's right there.
There it is.
You want to talk
There
about
it
that?
is.
Go
I think
ahead.
I probably posted that. Where'd it go? The Nozomi Shinkansen to be suspended over virus, which goes from... It does not say where it goes from. But it's one of the main Shinkansen.
The Valley Metro in Phoenix is taking extra precautions. It doesn't say they've cut service, but they are cleaning things more heavily and more frequently. You know, I was just thinking, like, what if everybody was this clean normally?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be nice? I wanted to talk about the Texas bullet train. They were pretty excited about it. Looking to the future, Texas finalizes an agreement, blah blah blah, and then they had to lay off 28 people because of the coronavirus. So you can see that story. So the future is a little bit in question right now. It's more a question of when, still, not a question of if. But hey, what?
I have a question of if you're done.
With all the coronavirus stuff?
Yeah.
Nope. The Alaska Railroad.
Right. Yes, he says, hopefully.
The Alaska Railroad has canceled one of their trains because of the coronavirus. UP has announced that they have infected people in their ranks, but not that they're
So
actually...
they're doing nothing.
Yeah.
Got it.
Two things have been canceled, a Steam Fest and a train show. So, you know, if you were looking at going to those, not only have they probably passed because this podcast is late, they didn't happen.
Are we a week late?
Well, we're
Yes.
2, technically. But anyway,
whoops.
the...
France
This is-
transfers
yeah.
coronavirus parents on high-speed trains with mobile emergency room.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of neat.
That
Francis
is.
made
very
an emergency room train, and I think well the RNN won some award, and then they released a statement about the coronavirus. Let's see, is there anything else in here? Oh, there are a couple of things. The Metro North, they're having their problems. A patient reportedly commuted on Metro North, and they're asking for a lot of money in relief funds, as are many of the other railroads / transit people in the area.
We're once again asking for your financial
Yeah.
support.
And
Yes.
speaking of which, do I have the... Yes, I do.
True.
So the MTA, the Metropolitan Transit Authority, which is the guys who run the New York City subway, they have now taken control of, closed purchase on, Grand Central Terminal. So they now own it from Midtown Trackage Ventures, LLC. So that ends the 280-year lease of Grand Central and gives Metro North control of its operating environment. So, that is interesting. That's an interesting development. And then we can talk about the MTA dealing with the coronavirus. So, in the fact that nearly 24 workers have tested positive, and I think a few of them have died. Yep, at least one. And then also there was a fire, which is unrelated to the coronavirus, but somebody else died. There was a fire in the tunnels, in a subway car, and yeah, in a station? Yikes! That is an awful looking scene. The pictures in this article are, I mean, they're not graphic, but Jesus Christ, I'm glad I wasn't down there.
This is actually the first time I've seen those pictures. Yikes.
Yeah. Pretty intense. For anybody watching the podcast, feel free to take a look at that. Anyway, the last thing is, I wasn't sure if I could spell Britain properly, but the British government may tighten its grip on the railways under the coronavirus rescue plan, which could involve returning the railroads to state control. Stop me if you've heard this one before.
Uh-huh.
Second verse, same as the first.
Yeah. So, that's interesting. British Rail Part 2, Coronavirus Boogaloo.
Boogaloo?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway, alright, we're done with the
Coronavirus.
coronavirus. What do you want to talk about, Wyvolt?
On the note of, I just thought it was a good thing for on the note of long-term questions of if. The New York-based KCVN has apparently been denied their appeal to the Surface Transportation Board to force UP to sell Tennessee Pass. However, We cannot read the article because it is a Trains Magazine article.
Yeah, there were a few Tennessee Pass articles in here. You can see the saga go on, and I expect the saga will continue.
I expect so as well. This seems like a fairly final note, but at the same time, I get that sinking feeling that this is not the last laugh.
Yeah, well, I feel like it's more like, okay, we'll negotiate, and UP's like, no, we're not going to negotiate. And then they're like, fine, we'll just pry it out of your hands. The Surface Transportation Board is like, no, I don't think you should do that. I don't think you can do that. And I'm sure they're going to be like, fine, we'll negotiate, whatever. We'll try this one again. I don't think this is the end. I don't think Dr. Evil is going to keel over that easily.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll see.
So, either way,
doesn't.
I'm excited.
I will say he does not strike me as the type to give up easily.
No. We never give up, never.
No.
Anyway, we have another Brightline one.
Oh no.
Not that this is even really interesting or whatever, but it's just that their projections have been a little sky high, and their numbers have been little, unfortunately, not so sky high.
Oof.
Oh well. I don't really
They
know what you
tried.
expected there. And, of course, right now they're shut down, so that doesn't help anything. That doesn't help anybody. I'm not sure anything else. I'm not sure anything in our area is shut down. I think the MBTA is still running fine. Or, well, at least a limited schedule. Although, they are having trouble with their subway cars again. They pulled all the new ones out of service again. Because they just can't, for the life of them, purchase something that works for more than a week at a time. I don't understand how. In this day and age, it seems like every single piece of rolling stock or locomotive delivered to anybody for any reason does not work. Like you never get anything that just works right off the bat.
No.
No.
That'd be too easy.
Yeah, it would be.
So, yeah.
Did we talk about the new Amtrak guy last time? Or
No,
before?
we did not.
Have
He
we
wasn't
talked
around yet.
Okay, well, hang on. We should definitely
We
talk
should
about that.
definitely talk about that, yeah.
I feel like that's a big piece of news. Hang on, I'll move it up here. Okay, so Amtrak, struggling to keep running, has chosen a new leader, or so says the New York Times headline,
Narrator,
which I can
they
no
aren't
longer
struggling
read.
to keep running.
No, they're not. They're struggling to keep their heads out of their asses, but now I can't read the article because the New York Times wants me to subscribe, and I don't care because I don't live in New York! Ah!
Yeah, because the New York Times is known for only doing New York articles.
Well, you know. Anyway, the new guy is due to actually replace Anderson, who is someone that we have harped on and on and on this podcast about disliking.
Mm-hmm. Also, he's 1 year older.
We really... Well,
I find that
oh well.
amusing. Okay, boomer.
But we really don't like the current / former head of Amtrak at this point. What's his face Anderson? What was his first name? Richard Anderson.
Yeah,
Dick Anderson.
We don't
like
call
Dick
him Dick
Anderson.
because it's a joke.
I didn't know. Anyway, this new guy's name is William J. Flynn. He's also an airline guy. He is currently the president and chief executive operator of Atlas Air Worldwide Holdings, which is basically like the Union Tank Leasing Company, but for airplanes, or TTX, but for planes.
Mm-hmm. Railbox, but for planes.
Yeah, essentially. Pick any of those. But he does also have railroad experience. That's what I was looking for. I don't know why I wanted to go responsibility. He does have a responsibility. Anyway, he was at CSX from 1977 through 2002. He was the senior vice president at CSX and was the senior vice president for strategic planning at CSX.
So he knows his way around explosions.
Yeah, he knows how to demolish things and tear up tracks. But either way, I personally have some hopes for this guy. I wish we could get someone that was almost like from the cruise industry, someone to make Amtrak not necessarily more profitable, because as we've harped on and on about, that's not the point, but to make it more desirable.
Yeah,
but
that's
maybe that I think is the key sort of discrepancy that Amtrak keeps running into. But who knows? Maybe this guy can do a little better job, and quite frankly, he can't do much of a worse job
Well, see, I
No.
feel like
than Anderson was doing.
it's interesting saying about somebody from the cruise industry. Now, I feel like running Amtrak is in such a it's such a niche, you know. I feel like if you
It
were
is.
to have somebody that really understood Amtrak, you'd need to pull somebody that's run. I guess almost somebody that's had their roots in transit, you know. The
Yeah.
cruise industry, I mean, it's nice, but it's also a direction. You know, you don't want to go too far in that direction, you know.
Right. It seems to me that is their biggest flop right now. That's their biggest fundamental problem, is that nobody wants to take Amtrak. It's not desirable. It's not that the customer base doesn't exist, or even the freight lines and the delays or the lack of profitability. It's simply the service sucks, and it's continuing to suck.
Yeah. Well, it's getting worse as we cut passenger comforts, etc.
Yes. And you can't afford to do that because that's the only reason to take Amtrak over the airlines or driving is for comfort.
Yeah.
Unless you have, a crippling fear, but whatever.
I mean, if you're afraid of flying, or if you're unable to because of a health condition, or maybe you just don't want to be
Right.
felt up by the TSA, or you rely on driving
Well,
because it's a lot of time that you have to pay attention.
Mm.
It's Amtrak is supposed to be more comfortable than a bus, and it's supposed to be more convenient in some ways than flying, because you go from city center to city center, unless you're Phoenix, because god damn it, you guys. Also Saratoga Springs.
Phoenix.
Also Saratoga Springs. It's supposed to be comfortable. It's supposed to be easygoing, and you don't want to be trying to just pack people in and get them on, and we'll worry about them later. You're not dealing with cattle here,
Right.
and that's something
Which is
that
not what Anderson
hell.
was doing.
The railroad has stricter regulations on the handling of cattle than passengers. That's why nobody takes cattle by train anymore.
yeah. Well,
So, anyway, I don't know if he's going to be better or worse. I personally have hope, but I can almost assure us and our listeners that we will be hearing more about this guy in the future
Oh,
on
I'm
the
sure.
podcast.
I'm
Hopefully
sure.
more good.
Hopefully more good, but you never know.
No. That's at least he has some railroad in his pedigree. It's not exactly a service position, because it's freight railroading, but
It's better than nothing.
Yeah.
yeah. Something that's interesting to point out that the first article mentions is the fact that Anderson had guided Delta through its bankruptcy, and based on the ways that he worked, he certainly seems like the right kind of guy for that task.
Yeah.
But taking somebody who specializes in guiding a company through bankruptcy, maybe you'd want to put them in charge of Conrail. I don't think you'd want to put them in charge of Amtrak.
No.
Because you get that mindset. It's like, okay, now we have to make money. We have to make money. When you don't. You have to provide
not
service.
the point.
That's what you're
quite
here
the
for.
opposite, in fact.
I
You
mean-
exist because you don't make money.
In a market, you want to be competitive, and whatever you make from that, you make from that. And in the Northeast, you can be competitive and still make decent money. And then on corridor service, you can be competitive and still make decent money. And you don't have to provide crazy passenger comforts because you've only got people for a couple of hours. But on a long distance train, which it's not like you can just ignore them, and it's a completely different kind of service. That is, maybe it should be broken up. Maybe it should be broken down. Maybe we should have the head of, short distance corridor Amtrak, and then the head of long distance Amtrak. But we've had talks.
So
about,
we have Frontier Amtrak and Lufthansa Amtrak.
Exactly. But we've had talks about that before, and it usually leads to, well, if you separate them out, then there's nothing preventing people from going, well, we don't need that other one. We don't need the long distance.
Yeah.
We get rid of that. So Amtrak needs to hold on to these long distance lines. In order for Amtrak to hold on to the long distance lines, Congress has to want to back them, and the people want to have to back the the senators and representatives that want to back them.
So Congress has to want to back Amtrak, and the people have to trust Congress. I don't think either of these things are going to happen.
Well,
That was the greatest joke you've said all night.
no, but in seriousness, it's the kind of thing where Amtrak needs pressure from elected people to not cut those
Yes,
trains.
to not
And-
suck.
And we, the people, if we care about Amtrak, that means we have to elect people that care about those trains. So
Yes.
it comes back to us. And when Amtrak does something like this, it really disincentivizes people from caring about them. And then they, when somebody's going on the campaign trail saying, and the trains, people will go, what about the trains? So
What about the trains?
Yeah.
Ah!
So that's... It sort of creates this vicious cycle where we have to actively fight against it and actively go, well, we'll try to make things better. We'll
Yes.
look to the future and hopefully things will get better.
I think things will.
Oh, yeah.
Fingers crossed.
I think they will.
In good news, how about we talk about Steam to the rescue?
Steam to the rescue. Oh, this is actually a fun one. Yeah, let's talk about that.
Yes, so in Sussex, a passenger train was affected by an emergency line closure. So they said, hey, we got the steam engine over here, let's go get that. And so they did.
Huh.
That steam
Cool.
engine's name, the Titfield Thunderbolt.
What was it, the Titfield?
No.
Speaking of
No.
getting a
Okay, I was going to say, wait a minute.
speaking of getting a steam engine, the
Grand
port of
Canyon.
the port of Kalama had received one of the old Grand Canyon Railway locomotives.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they are
It's
getting
former
539.
SPNS?
Yep, former SPNS. They are relettering it to SPNS as well to display the local heritage because SPNS or Northern Pacific actually led to the creation of the town of Kalama. Kalama, however you say it. So
Potato,
Where's
potato.
Milky? Milky's gonna come here and tell you right.
Trolley, trolley, trolley.
therefore,
Little man.
they have this new engine now, and
Yay.
they just rolled it in.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw!
Well, speaking of new engines, Kentucky Steam got a big donation.
Big.
Yeah.
So, Kentucky Steam has been... RJ Corman donated their QJ number 2008
Huge.
and its engine house to Kentucky Steam.
Oh.
about 2 weeks.
Oh, I didn't hear the engine house was part of it.
I did not hear
Or-
the engine house
Or
either.
it's like a car barn or something.
Yeah, it's like a display thing.
Yeah,
It's like
it's
cross
really
between a KFC, a greenhouse, and a dollhouse.
KFC.
with some, yeah.
I
You know what? You're right. The red and white.
Look at it!
Yeah,
Tell
you're
me
right.
I'm wrong!
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
it's interesting.
It is interesting.
But yeah, good for Kentucky Steam. I have another reason down there.
Yeah, it is. It is good for them.
Kentucky Steam.
Sabinsky has another chooch to play with.
Kentucky Steam is going ham. They got an award. They won the 2020 Emory Trust. I don't know what that entails, but they posted about it on their Instagram.
I misread that as the Emmy Trust. I'm like, why did they win an Emmy?
I want to make a joke about that, but I can't remember what the Emmys are for.
I was literally
TV.
about to say the same thing.
Isn't that the movies?
Emmys
Yeah,
are
I
like
thought Emmy was singing.
the golden. No, yeah, Emmys is no, that's the Grammys. The Emmys is the Golden Globes, I think, right?
Yes.
Emmy is the American award that recognizes excellence in the television industry.
Yeah.
Okay,
I,
gotcha.
I think I said that, but yeah, it's TV.
Okay.
Speaking of TV,
What?
What?
Do you have a segue for that?
well, I mean, when you stay at a hotel,
Uh-huh.
watch TV, right?
Right.
Sometimes.
Well,
Okay.
in the future, hopefully in this hotel, you'll be able to look out the window and watch the train go by. Because there is a railroad inn going in, or there's a proposal for a railroad inn in wherever this article's from.
to
Coastalview.com.
To quote Vincent Gambini, does that train always come by at 4 in the morning? I like railroads as much as the next guy. I don't really want to sleep near one. I did that in Italy and it wasn't fun.
Yeah.
So, yay, but I feel like some people are
Yay.
going to get... they're
Yeah.
going to be excited to
And
be there
consider-
for the first couple of hours, and then...
Well, and it's not even like...
Well, it's a hotel.
But looking at the concept art, it doesn't even look like it's a train station themed hotel. Or
No, it's
it
not.
literally just looks like a hotel next to
Next to the
train tracks.
Yeah.
And
Like
if
they're trying to build this up as this grand. It's literally they just want to build a hotel
Yeah.
and
next to
considering
the
the
train
fact
tracks.
and considering the fact it's right next to a possible crossing,
Hey, you know.
It's fine, you know. It's
It's
fine.
fine.
It's fine.
Fine.
fine. Where
Where to go from there?
How about in-cab experiences in number 89 in Strasbourg?
Or any of the locomotives.
Yeah, that's cool. So what is... I looked at these earlier because I was like, hand on the throttle, and then I was like, wait.
Yeah, you can do that.
Because you can get engineer's seat, jump seat, or fireman's seat. What does that mean
His
you
jump.
get to? Does that mean you get to drive or fire?
Yes.
Like,
That's what I understand from this.
I don't know how you would. You can definitely fire without the fireman's seat. I don't know how you'd run the locomotive not being in the engineer's seat.
yeah, that's why I was just looking at this like,
Well, because it's a jump seat, too, so I think you can pay to just sit in the cab and go for the
Yeah,
ride.
Yeah,
but
that's
like
true.
if you're paying for the engineer's seat, it's not like you're just paying to sit there and the engineer runs the locomotive. You've got to be running the locomotive because how else is it going to be run?
Yeah, no, well, it's called
AI.
an in-cab
from
experience.
the pilot
yeah.
with ropes.
Thank you.
I recently
it's a,
reread
it's
that
a
bit.
live steam engine. You just sit on you sit on the coal pile and into the cab.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's 20.
So, well, that's cool. I didn't realize people were saying like, oh, finally they're getting with the times. I didn't realize they didn't offer that already.
I didn't either.
Didn't they just start doing it when 611 came?
I don't know.
They did it for the 611 event. I don't know if they
Yeah,
had
they
done
did.
it previously.
Yeah, no, they hadn't.
We need to start it.
Like us.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, we should do
We're
that.
missing a few things for that. For one, we need a website.
Yeah. Oh, we do actually have a website.
Well,
Let's make one with
Shit.
Squarespace or some shit.
Yeah. Well,
next
Kavan
we
has
need
a thing, right?
uniforms.
Oh yeah, we have an IT guy.
Hey, what happens when, if you guys need to ship out 20 again after it's fired and it just disappears for another 3 months? Then we can do it that way.
Yeah.
We have 3 months. That's the benchmark for how long it takes 20 to get somewhere from the museum. But we have to bring it. We have to sacrifice the trailer. We have to bring in a new trailer,
Yeah.
or else she will become upset and kill us all. Anyway, what else have we got? Let's round things out.
How about we talk about Train's multiplayer surveyor?
Oh, this is exciting.
Ooh,
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was actually a part of it, so I can actually talk about this too.
Oh, screw up.
Can you?
Did I sign a non-disclosure agreement? I don't think I did.
Kavan said he could talk about it, so I think you can talk about it.
If Kavan said I could talk about it because he also did.
I mean, should be fine.
I mean, Approach Medium did upload a video.
Yeah, no, I think you're fine.
Okay, so what was it Thursday? Thursday, I took part in the second round of multiplayer surveyor.
Nerd.
It was a bit of a buggy mess. A bit. but people were able to see what people were doing. You could actually see placing down 1 billion trees. So that's what we did. Note to self, do not use an auto clicker because it will cause high latency.
Oh no.
Because I did that to stress test it, and every time I
And
did,
it got
high
stressed.
latency. It got stressed, alright. It couldn't handle a click every 100 milliseconds.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
I'm like,
Wait.
alright, I'm gonna stress this thing. Stressed it to the max. Didn't crash the server,
I
though,
feel
so that
like
was
using
good.
an auto clicker is kind of outside the purview of what they're expecting people to do in Surveyor.
Oh, yes. But if you really wanted to stress something, you gotta go above and beyond.
I guess.
It was,
Modern problems for modern solutions.
Oh, we want to see how well this. We want to see how well our new car does. Let's drive it across the Sahara. That's
sounds like something
that's an
Top Gear
accurate
would do.
representation of the guy who is going to commute from home to work.
That sounds like something Top Gear would do.
I'm sure they have.
Yeah.
But it was a wonderful time. Didn't have too many problems other than the bugs every 5 seconds. But
Like
when
what?
things ran smoothly,
Tell us
what
about
do
the
we
bugs.
have?
Yeah, like what?
You couldn't open the environment menu. It would practically doom everybody. You couldn't place anything. You
Sounds like
couldn't.
you did a fine job placing things.
Well, okay. When everybody had their environment menu closed, we could do it just fine.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Oh, that's a weird bug.
that is a really weird bug. Oh, what else was there? There was points in times when we could place engines down and then not control them.
All right.
Those were the two main ones. Other ones were just different errors that we had to report. See if I can actually pull up some from the.
The environment
log.
bug is kind of a bizarre one. But
Yeah,
other than
is
that sounds pretty not bad.
No, it's not bad, but there's like.
Obviously, kinks need to be worked out, but
Yeah, it's getting there. It's getting there. What is that one? GS script instance debug check. Driver script load. World list blocking store tile. You know, bunch of words that probably mean nothing to you guys, but means a lot to the staff and whatnot.
oh, whoops! I accidentally deleted it. We had an article about the Rio Grande Depot in Salt Lake City damaged by that earthquake.
Mm.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Also, an earthquake happened for those
Yeah,
that.
Yeah,
You know, earthquakes. You know, they
The world
For
wasn't
those
bad
playing
enough.
at home this year who's seen a global epidemic, also known as a pandemic. Earthquakes all over parts of the U.S. that have not been hoping, or that they're not normal for. Threats of World War III and an economic crash.
also Australia was on fire,
yeah. Well, that
Also,
was last year.
Australia was on fire.
and then flooded immediately when that was done.
That was this year.
That was this year.
Yep.
They both
2020
were this
is
year.
fantastic.
Epic.
It's just like, what the hell's going to happen in April at this point?
Aliens.
Aliens.
Maybe they have the cure for the coronavirus.
They do,
Maybe.
but you know.
It's in North Korea.
Well, I
'Cause
bet
they have-
Okay, China
North-
had it from the beginning.
North Korea
yeah.
is not reporting
China's
any.
had it this whole time.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Let's
This is
turn the
actually
interview into a real thing.
the coronavirus is actually a bioweapon.
Yeah.
China.
Anyway, on a lighter
Yeah.
note,
Yes.
and a much neater note actually, because
On a lighter note, it's time to end. No, I'm just
I
kidding.
did not know any of these were left. The Pullman Conservancy is excited to announce our first endeavor in Pullman car preservation. In coordination with the new owner, we have facilitated the move of Pennsylvania Railroad Observation Lounge Car Jack's Narrows and Bar Lounge Car Harbor Springs from the Railroaders Memorial Museum in Altoona, Pennsylvania. First of all, didn't know these were there. Didn't know they existed. Didn't know any were left. Why did they go to the Western Maryland Scenic? That's not good.
Oh no!
I guess we're
No!
I think they're like in storage or something there.
We can
Oh,
take
no.
the wheels from the coach and use them on 1309.
Oh, no.
Anyway,
we have more
these are
metal.
two
We have more
fleet of
metal.
modernism cars.
Straight out of metal.
Continue, Ellis.
I said these are two Fleet of Modernism cars. Say your last goodbyes.
Because you're getting turned into 1309.
But anyway, they're not pretty yet, but
No, they're really not.
it's excited to see that they're getting work,
Ooh,
and hopefully they
Although
don't suffer
the-
the same fate as 1309.
the observation car, they have a photo of the bar that's still intact. That's actually really neat.
Mm-hmm. It is. It's pretty. Anyway,
It is pretty.
Fix those up and put them on the T1.
so if we're talking about 1309, we can talk about other things that aren't going to happen. The National Park Service, also known as Steamtown in this case, released their excursion schedule for this year, starting Friday
Canceled.
to Saturday, April 24th to 25th. The park is currently closed, so presumably if they open by then, they'll be running these trains, but somehow I'm not sure they're going to. They're doing a whole bunch of runs in the yard, and the first NAOG Limited on April 26th, Mother's Day excursion to Moscow, Pennsylvania on May 10th, excursion to Jessup, Pennsylvania,
Yes.
a couple weeks later, and then Archibald, Tobyhanna, Water Gap, Goldsboro, Moscow, Delaware, Water Gap. Hey! Let's see. And one to Carbondale in October. That's kind of one I'd like to be on. So if this is all over by then, I might do that. I've never done one of their longer excursions. I'm looking forward to this year.
Fun.
And hopefully Steamtown's doing okay. I know they're closed right now. I don't think people are in there working. But hopefully it doesn't set back things too much. I know I was pretty excited about the 3713 progress back a couple months ago. But hey,
Yeah.
we don't want these guys dropping dead.
They said, oh, 1309's getting ready? Plague.
Even God doesn't want
I
1309 done. Anyway, speaking of people dropping dead, Ashley...
Well, he didn't drop dead.
Yeah, Ashley
Sick.
Furness, who is 35 years old,
Is dead.
from Bartlett, New Hampshire, very nearly became the newest addition to the long, long list of deaths that's posted on at the summit of Mount Washington. She fell 200 feet
Oh shit!
down Mount Washington and was hurt and nearly fell into a ravine.
Sounds like Mount Washington.
Jeez.
Yeah, the rocks that she fell into stopped her from falling into the ravine, which would have almost definitely killed her. Her companion was able to descend, place a call for help, or descend to her position, place a call for help, and keep her warm with a space blanket until rescuers arrived via the Cog Railway. So,
That's a slow trip.
yeah, well,
But at least it's better than walking.
Well, yes.
yeah. Rescuers could... This is the whole story that I haven't read yet. Rescuers could only get so far using an ATV and snowmobiles. There was no snow. Crews hiked the rest of the way and reached Furness after several hours, but her injuries were severe and she couldn't walk. Due to the steep, icy terrain and remote location, the Cog Railway prepared a train to retrieve Furness. A rescue belay was set up with ropes and other gear to hoist her up to the tracks. The train reached her and returned her to a waiting ambulance at the base around 11 p.m. Sunday. Without the use of the train, we were without the use of the train, we were looking at a potentially all-night rescue scenario, which would have included calling in several dozen additional rescuers and technical rope teams just to get the injured hiker down the mountain safely. I'm surprised there wouldn't be a helicopter involved there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But hey,
although the weather might have been.
yeah, that is Mount Washington. It is not pleasant up there this time of year. Anybody hiking, even now, it's a gamble. It's really rolling the dice, and that girl and her partner, they've really got some balls to be up there this time of year. The Cog doesn't even run this time of year, so they basically, I don't know, they must have called an engineer in, you know, or just whomever was around near the base station, because they don't actually start running until April.
Do they have people like in the shop this time of year.
I guess. I mean, it's.
So that would make sense.
I mean,
I
they're-
sometimes forget that the cog actually has diesel cog engines.
yeah, they've got to maintain their steamers and their diesels. I think they're working on another one right now, another new one, I should say. I assume it was a diesel that came and got her, because that would kind of be overkill if you wanted to fire up one of the steam engines just to trek up the mountain. It'd probably take a hell of a lot longer too. So I don't know. It's pretty serious. And the winds up there get real bad, especially in the wintertime. So it is. I'm glad they were able to pull that off.
Yeah,
I'm really glad they were able to pull
that's
that off.
it's not often that people fall and get hurt on Mount Washington
And survive. Yeah.
and survive. Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing to mention is with the weather this time of year, even during the nicer part of the year, they will always announce when you're going up the summit. We get radio reports on the wind speed. If the wind speed is topping like 100 miles an hour, we don't go all the way to the summit. And that's not outrageously rare. So,
No.
I've been up there where you couldn't see 10 feet and you were just getting hit with like 60 mile an hour gusts and you just had to like cling to walls and trudge from building to building.
Yeah, I think that was the only time I've ever been up to the top. Was like a miserable, cruddy day like that where I couldn't see.
That is most days.
Yeah.
The day I hiked, I was very lucky. But this woman is far luckier, and I hope she makes a full recovery and goes back to mountain conquering. Because,
Oh yeah,
damn.
props to the people who have been summiting Mount Washington every day all winter. Because we know there definitely been people who have hiked it.
Hey, right now
Also,
it's a
props
great
to the
way
people
to be
who
social.
ski it in July.
Yeah, that's another thing. Hey, it's a great way to be socially distanced. Go walk up a mountain.
Yeah.
Anyway,
This is true.
Although it is interesting that this isn't train related, but it's mountain related. That for the COVID-19 virus, so in New England at least, all the ski resorts were closed. Obviously,
Ditto.
I'm sure they were out west too. Yeah. But the interesting thing is that in Canada, they actually suspended liftless skiing too. So, like, we could still, like, if you wanted to go to the mountain now, you could still, like, skin
Ditto.
up and hike or and ski down. But in Canada, you can't even do that. That's crazy.
that's really
It
something.
helps to be a totalitarian communist regime like Canada.
Yeah.
Wait. Wait a minute.
Oh, Canada.
Yeah, I heard
but-
I heard they were shooting anyone that tried to go outside.
Yeah.
Yep. No, they just sick the moose on them.
Yeah, I heard they got covered in maple syrup.
They embalm them in syrup.
Yeah,
That's after they're dead.
it's to preserve the body.
Well, it's almost Passover, and in Passover in Canada, what you do is you smear maple syrup above the door instead of
Canadian Passover.
it's Passover.
Oh, no. It's Passover, eh?
How are we doing time-wise?
We can wrap this up. Eric has a million things. I just wanted to say, save the booze, because we're talking about moose. Let's save the booze. This is the Denver Channel.
don't forget
yeah.
Quote, this big crazy thing, which is a Colorado man's
I
mission to
donated to
save his
this.
town's caboose. What caboose is this?
It's an old, I want to say it's an old rock caboose.
Mm-hmm.
I actually received, hang on, is it right here? I got a thank you card for my donation to this. They did save it, if it doesn't say that in the article. Let's see if I can find it. Don't know where I've put it.
But yeah,
I just recently tried to organize. So.
it's a really cool, like, outside, or, a metal framed wooden caboose.
It was a restaurant for years and years and years. Here it is. That went out of business some time ago, fell completely derelict. There were 2 boxcars with it as well. The trucks have been saved, and they're going elsewhere. Hang on. Crane Day is coming on February 29th, 2020 at 8:30 a.m., which I think that's the picture in the article. Blah, blah, blah. So yeah, the Louisville, Colorado caboose has been saved.
Yeah, it's a long.
by the
It's a long
Ramos
article
family.
all about what's going on, or about basically the entire story. And yeah,
it's a pretty neat little story. It's one of those heartwarming, like, if you just need some good news, it's a good source.
and hell, we need some.
water, George. Yeah.
So, anything else?
So that's that.
I've got good news about 2926, which I'm sure Graham would want to hear. And well, Graham, I'm certain already knows about it, but he's going to be like, "You didn't talk about 2926." If I don't talk about 2926, so they're doing things. They're working on it. It's basically
Good.
done.
Whoops.
Good.
They de-asbestosized it. They
Asbestos.
Delete asbestos.
what do they do?
Fetus deletus.
Where are they? They have they steamed it yet? I'm not sure. These articles are not
I
super
know they've done
straightforward.
boiler tests. I don't know if they've actually run it yet.
Yeah, currently there was supposed to be a steam up last Saturday, and that
Probably
was
didn't
canceled.
happen.
So,
Yeah,
well, they're there.
your virus sucks.
They're there. They have a steamable engine. Now the question is, what are they going to do with it? They could run Rail Runner while Rail Runner is canceled. So, alright, Eric, I think you're the only person with news left. Actually, no,
Yes.
well, mostly.
You need to take the Trains multiplayer and the Steam Town schedule.
Oh yeah, let me grab that.
Okay.
Oh, you stole my Steamtown schedule?
Yes, I did.
Why'd you do that?
Because I didn't see you had the other one.
bastard.
Sure.
Alright, so Pikes Peak might be coming back.
Yes.
What is someday, soon.
What do you mean Pikes Peak might be coming back?
It's
The
still
Pikes
there.
Peak Cog Railway. It was
Yeah.
closed. It might be
Yes,
reopening.
it still is closed.
It is reopening. We've been
It is
over
reopening in 2021.
this. Yes.
Yes.
They are still at work, by the way.
Of course they
They
are.
are essential.
They are essential, eh?
They are quote unquote essential.
They're essential like GameStop is essential.
Oh my god.
Not only, and this is the weird one, the railroad currently has no tracks. The construction company is working on redoing the grade and all that kind of stuff. The construction workers and the contractors are still at work. So are the shop crews working on the equipment.
What equipment?
The cog equipment.
I thought they were getting all new equipment.
No, they kept some.
Alright.
I
Well, I mean, I guess you can't just leave it there.
They're quote unquote essential.
Right. Alright, cool. You know what's
All right,
essential?
next up.
Rolling ingots. There are 2 more of them, and they're trying to
They
rescue
found
both
two.
of them.
There are 3 more of them.
There are 3 more of them? Great.
One of them is out here.
Well, oh, what? Why?
Give it back.
I don't know. One of them is out here in a barn in Henderson.
Okay. Well,
Give it
Anyway.
back.
2 more ingots. They're doing a fundraiser. They currently have $6,500 or $6,400 raised approximately of the $20,000 goal, which will be enough to purchase both of the engines and ship them back to the United States because they're in Canada for some reason. Anyway, what's next?
let's talk about the fact that Southern Pacific 1744 is back home in Niles Canyon.
Yay!
Yay!
Yay.
Now what?
What's this? The Austin Subway. Proposed Cap Metro project includes. Shut up, automatic video. Project includes subway system in downtown Austin.
Texas.
Ooh, cool.
That's actually pretty neat. I
It
hope
is.
that they can do that because Austin is a city that's growing very fast and they really don't have much in way of transit.
No.
Like really.
Columbus would like to know your location.
Hopefully it's built when I move out of, or when I move there.
Yeah, you're gonna move to Austin now?
I've been thinking about it.
Alright. See ya. Scrub.
Let's see here.
Peace.
With the Hudson River Tunnel installed, Amtrak is left at the station again, and that's bad for Baltimore, apparently.
That's bad for everybody.
It's
Yeah.
bad.
Everywhere, not New York.
That's just bad.
It's bad. He's bad.
I mean, it's bad for everybody, including New York, but especially New York.
Yes.
Do you want to see? The economy grind to a halt for a reason that
Do
isn't
you
a global
want to be-
pandemic?
Do you want to be perceived as rich and cuddly?
You.
Okay.
You know what isn't rich and cuddly?
What?
It's not.
Well, the Hartford line and the MBTA, and they're kind of, they're having a little bit of a feud. Because the Hartford line, which is the newest commuter rail in New England, leases all of its coaches from the MBTA, and the MBTA wants them back. So
You will give us our coaches back. No.
So, quote, we've got a good relationship with Massachusetts, but they're also in a position where they don't want to extend their lease on the cars because they have a need for them.
Massachusetts.
Connecticut transportation officials are, quote, looking right now around the industry to see if there's anywhere we can pick up some other cars. If we're not successful, I've got to beg, borrow, and steal to try and keep this thing going, he says.
What are you
It's all a
just
bunch of New
steal?
Jersey Transit cars in Alamosa.
Yeah. That's,
Mhm.
you should send them a letter. Hey. You know what else we can give them? We can just say borrow cars from Essex while they're not using them.
Mm.
And
Ooh,
engines
I think they
too.
should
Why
just
not?
borrow engines.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have
So-
2 engines that could hop on the Hartford line right away and start working.
Yep. They've got 3.
Well, more than no.
No?
97's in for work.
Again?
I guess that's news, right?
Yes.
Yeah, 97's being worked on. Nothing bad. They're replacing. Actually, they lifted it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And,
Are they gonna put
took
truck
the
nuts
wheels
on the
off.
back?
Yeah. They lifted it. They got a big suspension. They got a stick family on the back window now. And yes, and truck nuts
On the
on
back
97.
window? What back window?
You
On a
know.
steam
No,
engine?
it's like-
Well, it's an all-weather cab, so
There's one behind the engineer's head.
No, they put like how they have like on LNN engines, the number painted on the headlight.
Mm-hmm.
They just have a stick family painted on the headlight.
yeah, there you go.
Anyway, wait till they get the
Norfolk
sticker that says
Southern.
baby on board.
Let's see here. Norfolk Southern
Salt
debuts an
sticker.
autonomous track inspection technology mounted on locomotive.
That could work. That'll work great.
That'll work wonderfully. What could possibly go wrong? What's this about a BNSF landslide?
BNSF had a landslide.
BNSF had a
Fleetwood
landslide
Mac.
near Miles City.
That's a hell of a landslide.
It is, it's bad.
Ooh.
No trains getting through that anytime soon.
And now with that attitude, they aren't.
Yeah, well, you know,
Where we're
they
going,
try,
we
but they're
don't
gonna
need rails.
fail.
And where you're going is into the water.
Yes.
What is this about Union Pacific traffic signal?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I named some of these things. But hey,
I don't know.
Yes.
hopefully, here's another thing that I hope doesn't get delayed by the coronavirus. Craig Mountain Lumber Company number 3 is returning to the Oregon Coast Scenic on May 30th of this year. And they put out a really cool picture to go with it.
Yes.
A really cool yet ominous picture. Speaking of which, somebody a while ago, this didn't get tucked in here, there was a video of Lynn Rodinger at the EBT, like, giving a speech
Yes.
about how everything's gonna go.
Speech.
And goddamn did I watch that whole thing and was riveted.
It was a good
It's
speech.
pretty good. Dr.
Well,
Benedict.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, that is actually what he sounds like.
You think I'm kidding?
Yeah, no, that's exactly what he sounds like.
Graham messaged me after he watched the video and went, "Your accent is spot on." I was laughing the whole time, and I got such a kick out of that.
I was just sitting in the car, listening to it. I can't remember what it was. I was just like, I was
And
waiting
you can
outside
tell
a
when it's
store.
him talking.
Yeah. I was sitting outside a store or something. It's just vivid in my memory because I was like in the passenger seat for some reason. And I'm just like, I'm going to listen to this video and just cracking up. But like, just thinking, just like excited at what he's talking about.
Hmm.
And he is doing a very good job of trying to moderate expectations, I guess. Because
Yeah.
it's easy to be like, oh, they've got, 5 locomotives or something? they've got 5
Yeah.
engines and motor cars and this. And he's like, the goal is to get 2 engines. We're going to pick 2. Hopefully they're the right 2. And hopefully we're going to try and get one of the motor cars running. And we need to triage all of the equipment. We need to see what's usable. The coaches need work. And it's just like, you know what? This is, it definitely shows. He's a man with a lot of experience in this field.
Oh,
So,
Definitely is.
I mean, he pretty much was like the figurehead of one of the most successful steam locomotive, or like steam heritage places in the country, at least.
yeah, and
You
I
know,
hope,
some guys will be writing up a whole bunch of stuff and it's just useless, and another will come back and say, "Oh yeah, it's running great. By the way, the wheel fell off."
yeah, that was a great one.
Well, Mark.
But yeah, it was such a good little briefing, not just for the people there, but also for us. Watching on the sidelines, like fingers crossed. The thing that I thought he was going to talk about more that I'm kind of expected he didn't was like, was all the machinery and stuff in the buildings. I thought he was going to emphasize that more as like we're going to use this stuff. But he doesn't seem to be all in on that, and
Yeah, he actually emphasized almost some of the opposite. He said
Yeah.
the machinery works, but we're going to do everything we can to preserve the historic fabric of this place and, mess with as little as possible.
Yeah, which I think is kind of a shame because you have all that opportunity sort of stare at you in the face, but at the same time, knowing his background, it makes a lot of sense. He's not somebody that... The Strasbourg Railroad was not equipped to work on steam locomotives when he arrived at the Strasbourg Railroad. And it's not... and he had to build that shop up to what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And so...
To a world-class
Yeah.
steam locomotive operating
Yeah,
facility.
yeah.
Quite,
And so-
quite literally with the case of the back shop.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so, I can understand if you're in his position, and you're basically presented with like, hey, here's a facility that, yeah, it's run down in many ways, but you could just, you could almost not outsource, you could work on almost anything you could need here. But I'm sure in his mind it's, well, I already know where I can work on all this stuff. The Strasbourg shops and the people that they've worked with, I assume, are a very known quantity to him. So I can get it if he's basically uninterested with rolling the dice with the machinery that is at the EBT. And, obviously he doesn't want to break it. But at the same time, it feels like a missed opportunity from the outside looking in. But, hey,
Strasbourg.
that's moderating expectations once again. I don't expect them to jump into, like...
Yeah, he probably doesn't want to say, oh, yeah, we're going to try and get all this equipment working, and then when people are wondering where the equipment is in 10 years, he'll be like,
Yeah, and it's
I
also
have
one thing
the
at a time.
front top in my basement, and it interchanges with the Rio Grande Southern.
We clearly...
I love 20. I'm going to have 20 come down to the EBT.
Don't say that. It's going to happen.
Don't say
I
that.
purchased 20 for the EBT.
Because if you say that, EBT's gonna die again.
No, it'll just happen. Well, but he very clearly lays out the priorities. Work on the cars, and you get 2 steam engines running. And that's it. You can worry about the rest of it later. And I'm sure he's figuring this first part, it's going to take long enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably doesn't even want to think about anything else after this.
Mm-hmm.
Also, track work.
How is
That's
the
a
track
big one.
work?
Well, you see, it's 2 rails,
No.
and then ties at the bottom.
I mean, the
Holding it all
Friends
together.
have done what they can.
True. Yeah.
But it's not, great. He does make a point about the track work needs to be taken
Dealt
care
with.
of. Yeah. Anyway, all right, let's wrap up here. Sorry about distraction.
It's alright. It's fine. Fine.
I
Okay.
didn't get to talk about the EBT last time because I think last episode or maybe the episode before we talked about the EBT and I had to run out. But you know, I just wanted to have a little discussion on that because I missed the boat on that.
Who's excited? I mean, everybody's excited.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
everybody's excited. All right, let's
I just
wrap up
wonder
here.
If, like,
What?
okay.
No, what Shader?
I was gonna say, like, maybe like once they get like a stable operation going, if they had it before, where it's out to the Wyatt, I think Colgate Grove, and then they come back.
Mhm.
If they would think about reopening the track going the other way up into the hills. I mean, from what I haven't looked at it, but from what I understand, it's still there,
Some of it.
or at least the grade is still there.
The grade is. Tracks there in some spots. The other
Okay.
one is, from what I understand, they don't actually have the track into Mount Union.
They don't own it, not all of it.
Yeah. So, we'll see.
Fingers crossed.
They have the track up to Mount Union, basically.
They do. And then the bridge is falling apart.
Well, that's not. So, we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully
We'll
within our
see.
lifetimes. Very hopefully within Lynn's. But,
Yes.
it's gonna be a long, hard road for them, and I really hope that they can turn that place into the place it once was. And maybe even more than that. It's just a shame they're in the middle of nowhere. So, with that in mind, let's round out the last couple pieces of news. And then see if there are any trains running at all for us to do the latest train on Amtrak with.
Let's see here. The Tehachapi bullet train would cost $18.1 billion over 82 miles.
That's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money.
That's a lot of damage!
That's a lot of damage.
Let's have a little more.
How about a car on the tracks?
That's a little bit more. We've already had 2 of those today, and they were both Brightline. Who is this?
This was... does not say. It's just that a driver sustained head injuries after his car later...
Oh, that's right. There wasn't a train involved.
I'm not even going to try.
Escahoning.
Thank you.
No, quick.
I remember reading this and going, all right, why do we have this article? But hey, you know what? Whatever. We got sent it.
I got sent it.
So, there's that.
I have no idea what this story about the UP traffic signal.
All right, let me see if I can decipher.
I read that article. I don't get it either.
So... Oh, okay, I get it. So, they put up a traffic signal at the intersection. And
I see
there's
what
a
they're
railroad
saying.
crossing there, and they're waiting for Union Pacific to install its stuff so that they can coordinate the two, so that when the gates go down, the light turns red. And UP hasn't done that.
Well,
I'm sure they'll get to it.
Phil.
I'm sure they'll get to it.
Everything, they're busy.
Yeah.
There's,
they're busy, as the world burns and everyone is busy.
Yeah.
Or no one's busy.
A little less than...
Well, the world's
It's a
not
weird
burning.
sort
It's
of
kind
limbo.
just, it's not burning. It's just on kind of a simmer.
The world's been brought to a
rolling
bare
boil.
simmer.
Alright,
Alright. That's that.
That's it, that's it.
let's be done.
I'm keeping an eye on the shenanigans going on in polls and votes right now. Anyway, let's do the latest train on Amtrak. Everyone but Eric.
Everyone but me. Okay, fine. Fair enough.
Oh, because you
Sir,
cheat.
cheats.
I do not cheat.
You do cheat. There's
I
no
do
way you've
not.
got it right every time. You realize you're not supposed to
Anyway.
look at the map at any point, right?
I'm not looking at the map.
Uh-huh.
Eric cheats. Anyway. Jader?
Oh. What are you doing later?
Why did you
Yes.
throw it to
Sorry.
Jader?
I kind of zoned out.
Because I wasn't sure if he was still here.
For a sec. Let's do the southbound Silver Star.
Alright.
Or is it the Silver Meteor?
They both are things.
Okay, let's do the Silver Star.
Okay, the Silver Star exists. Alright, Wybold.
Eastbound Crescent.
Oh, the Crescent. It exists. It's
It
on the map.
exists.
TJ?
Westbound Zephyr.
Westbound Zephyr. Alright, Eric, you want to tell us what the right answer is?
It's the westbound side.
Yeah.
Yes!
Yay!
I won, finally!
How late is the westbound Zephyr?
4
Why?
hours, 5 minutes.
Oh.
How's Via doing?
Via
Via's
shut
not
down.
running. Except
Oh.
for a couple of trains.
Did you listen to the news?
Via's fucked.
No, I didn't see that.
Also the fact, Eric, that you had the map pulled up.
That time I
Wait.
did.
Wait,
Uh-huh.
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 wait, that's illegal.
That proves
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, no.
That time I did because I'm like, they're gonna just say you can't guess
Eric
anyway.
cheats.
I'm just like, all right, I'll just go.
Sure.
Eric
Uh-huh.
cheats.
Sure.
Not
Sure,
cheats.
definitely.
Eric cheats.
Anyway,
That's
I'm
a-
going to change my termination to Eric Cheats.
I like it's gone
All
from
right.
this very serious message to Eric cheats.
It's okay. We've got a coronavirus one from TJ. Anyway, we hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. It's time to terminate. Wybold.
Long live the king.
Oh my god. All right. I want some donuts.
I love TikTok.
Oh my god.
All
No,
right. Who's next?
me.
Eric.
Never take a British design. Never take a British design to Japan.
Open the country. Stop having to be closed.
God damn it, it's buffering right at the end. Right at the good part.
I'd like to say that Eric cheats. TJ.
I had a conclusion about 3 weeks ago, but COVID-19 has indefinitely postponed my conclusion, so sorry, guys.
Okay. Interesting that 3 weeks ago there wasn't going to be a podcast anyway. So,
Oh, 4 weeks ago, then.
Jader.
Rule G who? I've been a little buzzed especially towards the start of the podcast.
Exposed.
All right. Well,
I'm 20.
we
now,
hope you
fuck
guys enjoyed this episode of the Terminus Podcast. Hopefully we can return to a normal schedule now that we're all stuck inside all the time. So,
Yay.
we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yay.
Where quarantine will probably still be enforced, and maybe there will be an end in sight, but probably not. Anyway,
Hopefully.
Yeah,
Let's
hopefully.
hope so.
yeah, hope so as well. Stay safe. Don't go together in large
Wa-
groups.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands a lot.
Don't COVID and drive.
Or don't just
Cetera.
drive anywhere if at all possible.
That should have been termination. Damn it.
Eric cheats.
Eric cheats.
Shut up.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.